Happy anniversary, Jesse and Laura. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drive the girls while I got the moves that'll really move them. I send chills up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. I make them hot. I'll make them shiver. Their knees get weak. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. Well, eat your heart out, girls. Hands off the merchandise. Seriously, though, happy anniversary. Love you guys.
Let's kick some ass.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? That was George Gatton with the HBK theme song for, Jesse and Laura's anniversary. That was his present.
Welcome to Kickin' Ass with Jesse
and Andy.
And yeah, it's no longer me and Laura's anniversary, but George Gatton wrote that for our anniversary a while back.
We're starting to run low on George Gatton songs, so we had to pull that one out of the archives.
Go into the recycling bin.
This podcast is brought to you by American Barbell Club.
ABC.
I just got off an airplane from Europe, and I worked out, I would say I worked out 4 to 5 days a week, and I was literally rocking American Barbell in a foreign country everywhere I went. And I got stares. I think I was in like Belgium or something like that working out, and like got stared down pretty hard because I was wearing American Barbell Club shorts and a shirt.
Like head to toe.
And yeah.
I think I told you, John from American Barbell Club sent me some stuff, and then I've never met the guy before. You know him.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. So he is the best, because then with my box of stuff is like a handwritten like note card. I'm like, oh, that's super nice. Yeah. It just says like, hey man, check this stuff out. Like, thanks, looking forward to working with you. Hopefully we can do more cool stuff. And then in parentheses says, by cool stuff, I mean more nudity. Thanks, John. That was it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this guy rules. This place is awesome.
Now that I'm home, I'm going to rig you up, Kev. Like, when we were talking, like, Kevin is going to get some stuff, and yeah, we were talking, like, literally the day I was, like, trying to get ready for Europe. And, I just didn't send it. I was going to wait until I got home, so.
The one package was like, I thought I was like, oh, cool, they sent me a pair of underwear. And then, like, I opened it, and it was like
the squat
shorts. but there was, like, underwear in the show. I'm like, oh, there's shorts, because there's underwear built into them. Yeah, Laura stole them.
The squat shorts are so nice.
I mean, to call them shorts is almost, like, not true.
Yeah. Well, there's that in the Lemmy documentary, there's that, Scott Ian
the
talking,
jean shorts?
Yeah, Scott Ian, and they were, like, wearing, like, board shorts, and, like, Lemmy was wearing, like, straight-up Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are those?
Yeah, and Scott Ian was like, yo, what's up with those shorts, Lemmy? He's like, you're wearing pants. These are shorts. They're short.
It was like where the pockets, like, hang down.
Very cool look.
Yeah.
Extremely cool look.
Yeah. Can I make a couple announcements quick?
Yeah.
Before we get into our guest?
Please.
So The Butcher and the Blade is going to be this Saturday, December 2nd. We will be at Kingston, Ontario with C4 Wrestling. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the area, come say hello, check it out. We are also going to have T-shirts available, our first T-shirts this weekend. And then Sunday, we're going to be in Detroit, Michigan with Border City Wrestling. I'm on the show against RJ City.
I'll be there just hanging.
The Butch is going to be there.
Yeah.
So
it's all right.
Yeah, we're still going to be selling merch.
I'll be by the merch.
Yeah.
I'll be the big merch guy.
Butch will be by the merch. He's going to say what's up.
Yeah.
But I am trying to get Butch on the show, too. So if you want to see Andy Williams on the show, tweet at BCW online and let him know what's up.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you guys Saturday or Sunday.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Shirts are on the rise.
Yeah. Full death.
Should we get into our guest?
Yeah. Should we get into the guest? I mean, let's bang. Might as well, because we're going to talk about everything anyway.
He's got a mic in his hand.
Yeah. Kevin, finally.
It's our producer, Kevin Bennett.
What's up, guys?
Look at that. Finally.
Usually he talks in the background, you just can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Now he's mic'd up.
Yeah.
He's mic'd up. We're gonna get the story about this young lion.
Yeah, we'll get the scoop. Oh yeah, by the way, also, we talked about it a couple episodes ago. So, I had my big world, as you said, world heavyweight championship match for ESW in Buffalo, New York. And instead, I'm not the world heavyweight champion. Kevin Bennett is.
Yeah.
I wrestled RJ City, and Kevin's the champion.
So did you beat RJ?
No. I got hit in the head with a title belt, and I was on the outside of the ring, and Kevin Bennett's music hit, and he cashed in his Ilio DiPaolo Trophy Cup, which is a.k.a. much like the Money in the Bank, and hit a sweet springboard cutter on RJ City, and won the title in his hometown. Hey!
I'll bang to that.
Banger.
Is that cotton candy?
No, this is a Power Punch.
I don't think I had that one.
Oh, it's fucking nice.
Is it good?
Yeah,
It's
really
nice.
good. I'm sure.
Do you
What
know
is it?
Puff ordered...
Dude, I'm all about it.
What?
It's Cyber Monday.
Did
I'm
you
gonna
get anything?
fucking hit. No, I'm gonna do. I'm going on there, and I'm gonna order like 20 cases.
Wait, didn't Cyber Monday already happen?
Yeah, but I'm gonna. I was
what are you
I was
talking
in
about?
fucking Europe when it happened. So
Okay, I hope you know that already happened.
yeah, it's gonna be Cyber whatever the fuck day I order it.
Well, Puff ordered... Pina Colada just came out.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, Puff ordered 2 cases. I was like, Puff, have you tried it yet? And he was like, no. And I was like, I hope they're good.
It's called dedication.
I mean, I heard they're really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Power Punch
Power
is
Punch
great.
is pretty legit.
it's great.
I've had that. I've never had this one till now.
Dude,
Peach mango.
I
Peach
said,
mango's nice.
I said it before.
I like it.
I thought peach mango was going to be disgusting, and it turned out to be my favorite
It's
one.
so good.
It's legit. Kev, you're the...
He's also
he's
producing
yeah,
it.
he's producing it at the
champion.
same time.
I know. I'm doing shit on the computer at the same time.
Yeah, champion Kevin Bennett.
and we lost our tag team championships while I was gone.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know
So
what they
we-
were gonna do with that.
we
honestly.
lost.
Did I was going to tweet at you about that. I think I did, or did I forget?
No, there's no tweet about that.
I was
We
pro-
lost.
I was
man.
probably too bummed about it. I lost. You were on tour.
I was on tour. Man.
Yeah.
That night I was probably in. No, I don't want to say that because it was a really good tour. But yeah, I probably had diarrhea that day, so I'd lost too.
I lost weight.
Yeah.
Do they want you back at PWR?
I don't know, man. I mean, we lost it, and it was all because of me.
And that was your debut, right?
That was my debut. I won a championship in my debut.
Yeah, I feel like we're entitled for like a rematch. You would
Yeah.
think.
And we're gonna kick the shit out of them. If we go back
Jet
down
Rebel.
there, it's gonna be fucking bad. I'm saying it right now. The prediction is pain that day.
Yeah, true
Butcher
that.
and the Blade are coming. Now that I got the gimmick, I actually have tights now.
Yeah, and you and your glasses.
And my fucking cool Jim Jones looking glasses. Yeah.
I don't mean to go from to go from a Kevin Bennett high to a low. I actually wanted to apologize to you because you text me and were like, "Hey man, Kevin's been telling me he's been getting dinged in the head a lot lately."
Yeah, man. I
Talk
get
to
worried
him.
about it. It's not even like. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so there's like wrestling. There's like wrestling. There's like wrestling. Like, hey man, we're gonna watch. Like, I've noticed, and this isn't shit talking wrestling as a whole, but there's like wrestling looking out for someone.
Yeah.
And then there's like real life.
Yeah,
Looking out
human
for
being
something,
looking out for someone.
where it's like, we're together a lot.
yeah,
Us three do this together, and Blackwood. I'm with Blackwood a lot. I'm like, I feel bad. I don't want Kevin Bennett's head to be rocked.
Yeah.
We were talking. You're the senior,
exactly.
and I was worried about him. I was like talking to him, asking him how the weekend was. He said his head got fucking smashed.
So then I pulled Kevin aside. I literally grabbed him and pulled him off where it was just me and him. I was like, "Hey man, I heard you've been getting hit in the head. Like, is everything okay?" And he totally no-sold it and was just like, "No, man, no, it's not that big a deal. It's totally fine." And then I text you back and I was like, "Oh, dude, he's fine. He's just overreacting with you, blah, blah, blah." And then now, turns out he was full shit.
Yeah.
And he got dinged in the head again last week. And now 3 other people have told me no, yeah, he's been getting rocked lately,
and that's all I was
totally,
saying. Is like,
and totally kayfabing me.
Hey, don't let him train this week. Like that's all I was
Which
trying
you
to
did,
say is
yeah.
like don't bump. Like don't let him bump.
Yeah,
Because I remember when I got that concussion, like Frankie pulled me aside. Like Frankie TM pulled again. We bring him up every single episode.
Yeah, we're on a
But
streak.
Frankie pulled me aside, and we were supposed to do a run-in later that night. With you, Kev. We were supposed to do a run-in later that night.
Yeah.
And he pulled me aside. He goes, dude, there's been times when I rocked my fucking head and I went back out there and did stuff and I regretted it completely.
Yeah.
And he was just like, just chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Like, I'm never like the guy that's like, I remember like Seb saying that too. Like Seb pulled me aside and he was like, hey man, I need you to just run in, but you know, if your head's rocked, blah, blah, blah. And and I think he tried to like he thought I was going to be like, try to be like the bigger man and be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I just told him, I was like, dude, I'm not above.
Tapping out.
You've done this for a while.
Yeah.
If your head's gotten rocked and you're saying I shouldn't go out there, I'm good.
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to stay safe.
I'm okay. And that was it. It was just like me, like, I get worried. And, you know, I say this every episode too. I'm going to be 40.
Yeah.
And I'm older than everybody, all of you guys.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, like it would be a fucking shame if someone got hurt and
Especially like with the head
bud.
stuff.
yeah.
That's
I mean, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but like
Yeah.
one of our friends, I don't want to get, you know.
Well, that's like, it's always like, it's tough. Like, I mean, I literally just got done training guys at Grapplers and then shot over here. Andy just landed from the UK hours ago.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Landed at 6:30.
How long were you gone for? A month?
It was 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3-week UK tour straight to the studio.
Barely slept the entire time.
So, well, I was going to say, like, with me training guys, too, it's like, you can tell, like, what do they say in the program? Like, are you injured or are you hurt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a big difference there. You can tell when guys are basically being a weenie or if,
Of
like,
course.
when there's something real going on. So, like, yeah, Kev, like, if your head, you got to tell me if you're getting rocked in the dome.
Well, I mean, like, I didn't really think anything of it, like, when you pulled me aside,
Yeah.
like, when, we were just talking.
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, when we had our conversation, like, I didn't really think anything of it, but it was just like I was noticing it more and more. Like, every match, there would just be one, moment in the match
Yeah, where
where
it's
I would
like,
just get my
whoa.
belt rung.
Yeah.
But this past show was when it really, like, kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
And it all, stems back from that concussion that I got at PWR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that big dive. Like, I fucking rocked my head so good.
Yeah.
Like, my whole body, like, tingled.
Yeah.
I thought
You got
I
the
was done.
vibrations.
Yeah, like,
Did you end up throwing up? I can't remember.
a week later,
That's right.
I did.
Which is fucked.
Yeah.
Which is weird, yeah, right? But, I remember Mullen, like, it was the first time, actually, that, he asked me, are you okay? And it was the first time that I responded, no, I'm not.
And you and Mullen have known each other for...
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
You and
He's
Mullen-
always there
Well,
looking
Have
out
you guys
for me.
started... You and Mullen probably started at around the same
No,
time.
he's been around a lot longer than I have.
For real?
Mullen's
Yeah.
a local Buffalo referee.
I could have swore. I remember when he was like a ring crew guy for ESW or whatever. I don't
It
think
was
he
a
was
while.
Like,
I mean, I
think
don't
he
know
was
how much
reffing.
longer.
It had to have been
Yeah.
close.
Now that I'm looking back, Mullen did start like a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It seemed like you guys were like at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I started seeing you guys around the same time.
Yeah, I know he's definitely got more years on me, but
Yeah.
But he asked if you are right. You were
yeah,
just
he's
like,
always
"Eh."
he's always looked out for me. It was like as soon as I smacked, it was like I saw like a bright light.
Yeah.
I wasn't out at all.
Yeah.
He asked me, he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, Mullen, I'm not." And
Yeah.
I just remember tears running down my face, like just because, not because
Yeah.
I was hurt, but I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe just
You got your
the
fucking
impact.
bell rung.
Yeah, and like I watched the video of it actually a few weeks ago, and I didn't realize that I was down on the ground as long as I
Oh,
was.
for that long?
Dude, it was really weird.
Yeah.
And the thing that just kind of scared me about just recently is after, the whole sequence with Bill, winning the cup and things like that. Like, as soon as I took that spear, I made sure, like, it was in my head before the move actually happened. I was like, all right, I'm going to take this like a champ. I'm going to fucking make it look like I got
Big
hit by
inside
a
out
car.
bump or something.
And that's exactly how it felt, though.
Yeah.
But the thing that scared me is that I remember I just watched, the cut back yesterday. And when I came out to cash in the trophy, I had that same exact look on my face that I did, like, when I smacked my head at PWR.
Yeah.
And like Vinny Moon, cameraman, is even telling me, he's like, you
could
look
see it.
super dazed. Like
Yeah.
there was like no emotion behind you like cashing in the belt, and I even, or trophy, sorry. But it just kind of like freaked me out. I'm like, holy shit, like maybe I really did. Because when I went to the back and you guys were telling me, stay here, you're gonna cash in, I was just so like, what is going on? You know what I mean? It just kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't really worried about it until, that.
We pulled a little deal ski on Kev where, he's a young guy winning the title in his hometown.
Huge.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So he knew he was winning the cup, and then we basically didn't tell him. We did, the scramble was for the Ilio Apollo Cup. He won the Ilio Apollo Cup, which is basically like Money in the Bank. My title match was next, and then after that, so basically when his match ended, we just grabbed him and said like, "Hey, okay, you're cashing in."
Yeah, so you had
right
no
now.
idea.
Yeah, no.
Is that the first time you won the ESW?
Yeah, I won the interstate title
Yeah.
years ago.
Cool.
But yeah, the first time for heavyweight.
So we just grabbed him, and I didn't know that you were like. That I didn't know. I mean, now thinking back, yeah, you seemed pretty dazed, and then I same thing like watching the video back, and like I'd heard about it, and I was like. Yeah, I wanted to like kind of like give a shit, like, man, you didn't look like excited at all. But then I was like, oh fuck, he's like loopy, like, when you came out to cash in.
Yeah, because like I remember asking, he's gonna be a cameraman for us. His name's Lou. You remember him, right?
Yeah.
Lou. Yeah. He was standing there, and you guys were going over the spot with me, and you guys walked away, and I'm just anticipating it, and I was like, what did they just tell me? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, can you tell me what I'm fucking doing? Like, I mean. It was just a super weird feeling.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it was
of
really
course.
weird, foggy vibe. Like I really don't know how to explain it. It was just like a dream, but it wasn't kind of thing. So that's how I knew I had to just like take it easy.
But that was when I finally heard about that, I was like, okay, that's when I texted you and I was like, you don't have anything this coming weekend. I was like, don't fucking train this Wednesday. Like just take it easy for a little bit.
But I feel okay now. I mean, after a few days, like
Yeah.
I'm good. And I remember. When I smacked my head at PWR on that dive, I remember going to the doctor, and the doctor, he checked me. They did all these tests, and they said everything looked fine.
Did you go the next day?
I remember I went to the hospital that night,
Okay.
but then I got a follow-up, I think a few days later.
Okay.
And, they're like, everything looks
They did
fine.
the concussion test and everything was fine?
Yeah, everything
wow.
was fine, but they just diagnosed me with a concussion based off of, like, what happened
Yeah,
and
of
how I
course.
felt. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I have a rock hard skull, and like I can take some punishment, but it's just been kind of worrying me lately, especially after this past show.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna be fine. I just
Weird.
gotta take it easy.
Just because we always make fun of him.
Uh-huh.
How long have you been training? Like, how long have you been like wrestling?
3 months, man.
Yeah, 3 months.
Just got rolling. Big title weight under
You
the
see that
belt.
tweet? You
Yeah,
see
it
that
was-
on Twitter?
That was like it. Really funny because the time change is so bad. So like I'm literally sitting in my bunk in like 4:35 in the morning when I start texting you guys on the group chat,
Yeah.
and I'm just sitting there. I can't fucking sleep, but I know you guys all like went out. You worked. You know what I mean? So like I was like trying to keep tabs on like Smash, ESW, PWR. I tried keeping up on. I just completely forgot about that one. But like trying to keep up on you guys and what you guys have been doing because I was like miserable in my bunk. Sweating and wide awake at like 4:35 in the morning. But yeah, and it was like the big things that happened at the ESW thing is fucking great though because like one MVP was there. Who did MVP
He
work?
was great.
Dude, he was awesome.
He was like
Who did he work?
Him and Vince Valer.
him and
Did they do the Kevin Sullivan match?
no.
No?
No.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll get back to that.
Oh, yeah.
He no, they did a little gimmick where like we were saying it was like Kev, you're not actually from Niagara Falls, right?
No.
The show was in Niagara Falls.
Brother.
What's that?
North Tonawanda, brother.
Yeah, he's a North Tonawanda brother.
Yeah.
The show was in Niagara Falls, literally 5 minutes up the road. Vince Valer is legit from Niagara Falls. So the main event was MVP versus local Buffalo Niagara Falls brother, Vince Valer. They wrestle, babyface for a few minutes, and then, the fraternity?
Yeah.
The fraternity runs in, jumps them, turns into a tag match.
Like from Canada.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
was
they were-
Alexa Nicole with them too?
No, just
Oh,
them.
that sucks.
Yeah, but it was cool. I actually just watched it with Vince.
That's
It
great.
was good. It was very cool.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, that was your
So
main
yeah,
event.
MVP. You wrestled with Seidel.
There was, who was the cup? It was you, Seidel.
Greg Iron,
Yep.
Blackwood, Sean Carr, Bill Collier.
Big
That's
time
great.
Bill Collier.
Yeah.
And then it was a good card, man.
Yeah.
And then they did a battle royal to open the show, like so Puff and like a lot of Danny Garcia,
Awesome.
all the guys. got in there.
Landlord.
Hey, the one real big thing I want to talk about is Nicometti's gear.
Did you see
He
it?
changed up his gear, and he fucking dyed his hair blonde.
Yeah.
Dude, I texted him today. I saw, like...
I've been meaning to ask you about
He
it.
posted the DDT gimmick, the 50
Straight
Shades of
jacket.
Gain, or whatever he calls
I
it.
didn't see it.
It's great. So I see it. I'm like, holy fuck, he's doing the gimmick. And I text him right away. I go, dude, this is great. This looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He looked fucking great because he dyed his hair
And he has-
fucking blonde.
Yeah, but like shitty blonde.
I know.
Like,
And
yeah,
I told him, I go, dude, like, I like seriously watched this, and the first thing I thought of was Reckless Youth. I was like, this
Yeah,
is
or the
like,
Flock.
You're doing it exactly. He's like, this is exactly. He's like, when I put it on, it's exactly what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
And I tried to do it to a T, and I go, dude, it is perfect. Like, literally looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. Yeah.
I think he looks fucking great, and he's got the right attitude for it.
Yeah. It's
then-
good he talked because he was uncomfortable with it at the show.
Yo, his response was amazing.
Oh, here we go.
He goes, and this is the best. So my side of the story, I was my band and I have played CBGB's, like actual CBGB's club. I played there probably like 8 or 9 times. Today, in Newark Airport, I went to the CBGB's restaurant and ate.
Okay.
What
yeah.
a crock of fucking shit that was. Anyways,
Where's that come from?
because I was sitting there when I was talking to him. And,
Oh, gosh.
And I was trying to figure out what to
What
do.
a crock of shit that restaurant is.
So I was trying. My 40th birthday is coming up in it'll
Yeah.
be 12 days.
Oh, yeah.
Close. And I'm just trying to figure out what to do. Like, I don't fucking know, man. It's like a pretty good milestone. I didn't think I would live till I was 40. So I was trying
You're
to
doing
figure
it,
it out.
man.
And Nicometti he's a chef. So I said, hey, man, I'm gonna fucking eat. I want to eat the best meal possible. Where do I go? And he just started like throwing like restaurant things. After we had talked about the spot or whatever, him changing his look and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So his response to the look,
Yeah.
to get back to that, he goes, dude, I'm so stoked on it. I look like Reese. So out of everyone in the
AKA
flock,
WCW Flock Reese.
they're like Reese out of the flock.
Because I think Reese did have a mohawk too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
Like
awesome.
a shaggy mohawk.
But he looks like Reckless Youth. It's so fucking cool, man.
I like it.
I think it looks fucking awesome, and like, it's funny because like usually, like I got shit on for the gear that I was wearing, where like I wear pants. Basically what you see me wear on stage is what I wrestle in.
Yeah.
And up until this like butcher gimmick, and everybody like Big Nate, Brody King's just like, dude, get fucking gear.
Yeah.
You get gear.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you gotta get real gear, man. You can't wrestle in this shit anymore. But sometimes it works for dudes. And like he was popping because he said like someone came up to him and said he reminded him of Axl Rotten.
Yeah.
And he like fucking loved that.
Just cool shit.
I hope you're listening to this, Anthony, because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody said you look like Balls Mahoney.
Which is great. That's fucking awesome.
Like their name, like
But if you think about it,
Brother Nicometti has like dropped tons of weight and he looks good.
looks
Everyone's
great.
like, "Oh, you look like Balls Mahoney." You look
No.
like, it's like, dude, he said to Reese. Like,
Also, though, like the Balls Mahoney gimmick is like this guy that like wears normal ass clothes,
Yeah.
and can do
doesn't
cool
look like he
shit.
can do the things he can do.
and he can do it, and that's like
Yeah, by the way, Nicometti missed a moonsault to the floor and just flopped on the mats.
It's not the first
Yeah.
time either.
Really?
He's done that a shit ton of times.
Yeah, literally just standing on the, not from the top row,
Oh,
on the
okay.
apron, just did a moonsault. Brother moved and just ate shit
ate
on the
it.
floor.
what?
Yeah.
Wow,
He's crazy.
he's gonna hurt his knees again.
Yeah.
Did he wear his old boots? Did he wear the
Yeah.
shitty white like?
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah. And then to sneak a little purple in there, he tied like a bandana
Perfect.
around one of the boots.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for him.
Don't you think it was good that he debuted it at WrestleBash though?
100%? I think
All right,
so.
because Brett was iffy on it. He didn't want to do it.
The only thing I was, I was thinking about maybe, instead of him going like all for it all at once, like maybe this time he just wears the shorts, and then next time he wears the shorts and the shirt, like a slow, but like
that would have been cool.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I like because he came out to like this Deftones song like instead, and like
Dude,
I like
it's a huge statement at a big fucking event.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
awesome.
and he won. It was his heel turn. He won the title.
Yes.
Like I liked it.
It rocks.
It worked, yeah,
It rocks.
for sure.
So that was like pretty big for the team. I thought like overall, like looking back on like Wrestle Bash was like big for the team, even if you didn't get the championship there.
Yeah, somebody's got to pay the price.
Yeah.
When Puff got eliminated from the Battle Royal too, like I gave them the spot of where like everybody ganged up on him.
Yeah.
And literally it was like as soon as like everybody ganged up on him, you could feel the crowd like come up.
Yes.
And then like they finally got him to like the middle. And it was like we practiced it the night before, like Puff, like it was like slow, like up over the ropes. But then, you know, Puff being a big fella, like once he gets to a certain point, he just crashes and burns real hard. And like when he got to let that crowd, the place went crazy.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Dude, it was like, so Brody King, Nate, like listens to the podcast now.
Yeah.
But I feel like he just listens randomly. So like he picks an episode and like randomly goes it. So he texts me and he goes, dude, I am obsessed with Puff. and then today, like shit, he just says it. Like, dude, I want to adopt Puff. And then I text Puff that, and Puff's like, oh yeah, man, that'd be great. Like, I really don't get along with my dad, and something like that. So, like, blah, blah. It was awesome.
Puff, 21-year-old phenom.
Yeah, I love him.
I think our gear is coming in the mail next couple of days, either Thursday or Friday, and Puff's is coming too.
Yeah.
I keep saying this. When Puff gets his gear, it's going to be such a game changer.
Yeah.
He has like a head to toe, basically like Super Dave or Evil Knievel outfit. Like
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
All right, back to Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Bennett.
Kevin
Let's turn on more positive.
This? Yeah, so Kevin in Buffalo is probably the most white meat
Babyface. Uh-huh.
And then,
But then you go to Toronto.
75 miles away,
Yeah.
he's the evilest, most shindy prick there is.
Oh yeah.
Should we get into the shindy prick stuff, or because it's working?
It's crazy.
It's working.
To me. Like, and it's funny because it's like I'm sure like Brett at ESW probably has like a time where he wants you to like change, if he ever does want you to like heel turn.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably
Now's not the time.
But if you're rocking,
Oh, of course, yeah.
you keep going.
Shindy comes. Basically, you have independent wrestling, which turns into indie wrestling, and then if there's like shitty independent wrestling, people turned it into shindy. So you call but what was it? You did a promo on Mark Haskins, right?
Yeah.
And called him a shindy prick.
Like this was just a joke. Like I've heard this term years ago.
Yeah.
Somebody said what? Brody made it up. I don't know. Who told me?
I don't
that?
know. I don't know if Brody.
Said.
I mean, like I've kind of heard of. I mean, I've heard shindy before.
Okay,
like,
yeah, because that was a term I've heard. You know, even when I first started.
Yeah,
so,
but now it's.
I just
it's
brought it up
fire.
like to the boys.
Yeah.
You know, like Daniel and Kevin and all them.
And then you said it in a promo, right?
Yeah, and literally it just stuck. And when I said it to James Key.
Yeah.
Up at Smash, he's
loved
like,
it?
yeah, he's like Shindy. He's like, let me see if Seb will let you say that in the promo, and then it did. Yeah, so it's
a perfect way. Yeah, I mean, there's no swearing involved. So
Yeah.
it's a perfect way to squeeze it in there.
I just wonder. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if people know like what
It's
it,
like that's
what
what's
it
cool
means.
about it. It's like an inside.
It's like Shindy. What is that? It's a shitty independent.
shitty independent wrestler.
It works though.
Yeah, it's great.
It's got that sting to it when you say it.
Like I mean,
Shindy prick.
I see shindy prick T-shirts like on the way. Like it'd be sweet.
It's definitely working. Yeah,
That's definitely in the works.
like I'm actually coming out with a song. It's being released on Monday. On the Smash Wrestling Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
It's called Shindy Prick. And it's a Mark Haskins
It
diss.
has to be good, man.
It's a Mark Haskins original diss.
Yes, it is a hot single of mine.
Like I said this about Kev to put him over when we did that Smash Wrestling Q&A thing with the fans. Like two things about Kevin were, one, Kevin was a backyard wrestler and he had a little bit of training, and this was probably 2008 or 9 he used to come to the seminars.
Yeah, I would say around
Maybe
there.
even later.
I started like with the backyard wrestling and like filming it with my friends in 2007. So
Okay.
I'm trying to think how old I was there. I was pretty young, like.
Like I would do seminars before the ESW shows once in a while, and Kevin would come to them, and he was just like a skinny kid. He had that like shaggy, curly, like George Washington haircut where it came to here and then like shaggy down in the back. And I was just like, I don't know, this kid's like, he just like, I remember I was like, dude, you gotta be more aggressive. You gotta be like, he was like so quiet. I was like, he's just not aggressive enough. And then like, what he's morphed into like years later, I was like, holy fuck. And that, like, I didn't see that ever happening. You know what I mean? And then when he was like talking to me about like gimmick stuff, because I knew he did the rap stuff. And then he was like, yeah, like he started doing stuff for Smash, and he was like, yeah, Seb wants me to like incorporate like my rap music into my gimmick, and I was like, that's gonna suck. Like, this is gonna be.
I thought it was
gonna be
suck
terrible.
Too.
Like,
Yeah,
like a
really
generic
did.
John Cena thing or something. But dude, it's like
it's
fucking
completely
coolest.
different, though.
It is like it sounds on paper. It sounds like shit on paper, but it's fucking amazing. There's twice he made me look like a complete asshole in a good way.
That thing, I think that's like the cool thing about wrestling too, is that like there's that weird flexibility of like what could be bad and what is really bad.
Yeah.
Like obviously something like the gobbledygooker on paper in reality was like terrible.
Yeah.
But then something like Papa Shango, like a guy writes like, oh, we're gonna have this like shaman.
Yeah.
And then the right guy takes it and goes
Makes
with
it awesome.
And then it makes fucking sense. And they never bring him back. They just buried it. Anyways, yeah. So to me, I just that's like one of those things where it's like, with anyone else doing it, it probably would have been terrible.
Yeah.
But you like, I think, and it's funny too. You like bringing up the fact that he's not aggressive.
Yeah.
Kevin has like the most baby face. Like he's not just like a baby face. He actually has like a baby face. You
Well,
know?
that's the whole. It was supposed to be like a Bieber thing at first, wasn't it? Like you have such a baby face, you were supposed to be kind of like a Justin Bieber kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't even think they really wanted me to be like a heel at first.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really weird. Like I was coming out just like high-fiving people.
Yeah.
And as soon as people knew like I was a rapper.
Yeah.
And I'd make my own music, and with the way that I look, people were just like, "Fuck this dude."
Yeah. I remember this. This is a thing. It was like, if I can remember this guy's fucking name. Me and Wes used to have a joke about you. It was you and Chris Cooper. Where like Chris Cooper always smiled when he was wrestling. He always had like, a smile on his face. But every time
There's another guy named Body that has the same problem.
Oh my god! Yeah.
But like every time he was smiling, it wasn't like a good kind of smile. Where like
that shitty smile.
when you smile though, as a baby face, it just looks like you're having fun. On the other side of it though, like there's nothing that stings more than when you're the heel and you smile, and it works for you because you have a natural smile. So like, you know what I mean? So like when it happens on the other side, you're like, fuck, I hate this dude. And it's kind of like he kind of has, you'll look him up if you guys are listening to this, but yeah, Kevin Bennett, he kind of has like a Johnny from Karate Kid
there you go.
look to him.
Yeah.
Kind of like
blonde hair,
blue
young,
eyes,
good looking, but like but a heel.
but a dickhead.
Yeah.
But it works both ways, because when you see him as a baby face, he knows how to work it that way, but also knows how to work it when he's a fucking prick.
Which is great. Like that was a compliment. Not to talk about myself, but that was a compliment I got once. I think it was in the PWI 500. They just said like, whatever. And it said like, he's comfortable working heel or babyface, which I was like, oh yeah, that is pretty cool.
That's a great thing.
It's important, yeah. So like for you, it's it's. I think it's crucial that you can do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so there's always guys that are like way better at one than the other one. Like it's good that you can balance the two.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel comfortable doing both. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's the thing, though. I think they did the right thing by having... And I know I've always talked about this, and I still have gripes with the bodyguard thing, because I just don't think they're utilized enough in the aspect of what a bodyguard should be. You know what I mean? Like, and we've talked about that before. It's like, all right, getting Body's the biggest dude in the area. And, like, I'm 6'3", I weigh 245, 240. He's like 6'5", and goes over 300 plus.
Yeah.
He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's like if he just had 3 big moves to like set you up. So like if you're on the outside fucking around and you have the referee's attention and he gets in there and hits a dude with something big, the crowd's gonna fucking pop and then he bails. Yeah. That's what like fucking Mr. Hughes did, and when fucking Boss Man was like a heavy, like that was their big thing. Like they had like 3 big moves they would hit on people.
Not to switch the topic, but that's what Puff just did when they Puff
Huge.
that's what Tyson wrestled Dylan Andrews, and they had the ref distracted. Puff slid in, he splashed Tyson in the corner, and then grabbed him. Mark Henry World's Strongest Slam, and then rolled out of the ring. The crowd went nuts.
Dude, it was awesome.
I mean, and how basic is that?
Exactly.
Super basic.
You know, and like that's the type of shit where it's just like, instead of them being like the Two Stooges, you got to be able to do both. Where like if I was your heavy, do you know what I mean? Like come down, and it was like, okay, fuck, I'm in the ring, I'm hitting a fucking arrow, boom, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the crowd's gonna pop because I have a guy up in the air as fast as possible and gone and out.
Yeah.
It was like I was trying to explain that to Body. I was like, dude, just all we have to do is get you 2 moves. You know what I mean? Like, and it'll be fucking enormous, dude. Like him doing a Boss Man Slam, like would be the craziest thing in the fucking world.
Yeah, because with his big body falling too, it'd be loud as shit.
Oh, dude, it would just be fucking awesome. So that was like the only thing, but both those dudes are like, they do really well with you. And the last couple matches, they've been so fucking on point that like it's. I think that with the Tyson match was like the one when you wrestled Tyson at the Opera House.
Yeah.
Kev wrestled Tyson Dukes, and I remember telling Jesse that I was like, Body was awesome. Body was like where he was supposed to be for everything. It was fucking great.
And that's how it felt just on Sunday. I wrestled Petey Williams. And, dude, like, the whole match just felt so crisp and smooth. Yeah. And, you know, I don't really have too many matches like that. There's always, like, something I'll remember in the match. It was just like, that felt super weird. Or, like, you know, Alex or Body, you know, they were in a really weird spot for, you know, that portion of the match or whatever. Yeah. But this felt, like, super good.
Yeah.
And, I think they did perfect. Like, we did this huge sequence at the end where... Like, I pinned Petey, you know, dirty pin, and then afterwards, like, he was jaw-jacking me, and then Body and Alex came from the back, and we were just stomping him out, and, like, we did this, like, crazy sequence. It was nuts. And, you know, Alex was there for everything.
Yeah.
Body was there for everything. Everything was super crisp, and then he ended up hitting me with the Canadian Destroyer at the end.
Yeah.
That's badass.
So, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Man, it felt awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that was probably one of my better matches of the year, too.
The match, the 3-way with fucking Cobb, too, right?
Yeah.
It was a 3-way. I mean, Body took that exploder, or whatever the fuck he took, and it was insane, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, like, just that alone... was the match. You know what I mean? Like, he threw fucking Kingdom around, too. He did something with Kingdom on that. Like, DVD Kingdom.
Yeah, they just built it up.
It was crazy.
You know, Alex first, Kingdom, and then Body with a huge reaction.
Kev, do you have any... Because now your gimmick in Smash is... Yeah, you're the music guy, and then you have Body and Muscle are your two
AKA
heavies.
Alex.
Yeah, but now, I know you're a big fan of Muscle. Do you have any good stories about him?
About Muscle?
Yeah, because I know.
Yeah, I do actually. There's one.
Muscle is
I
like.
I know what this is.
Alex is just he trained at Lance Storms, and he's still pretty green, like he's still learning, but he's just like that lovable, like harmless meathead, like the best. Yeah.
When I wrestled Kevin at Smash, there was like. We're sitting there like calling the match. We're talking about the match, and Alex the entire time was just looking at himself in the mirror, like 100% just staring at himself. He's like, yeah.
He gets to the building, and it's like his shirt just falls off instantly, and he has no shirt. The show's not even starting for 3 hours, and his shirt's gone.
It's like really weird though, because like the way Seb explains it is that
I'm switching chairs.
Okay.
If it was somebody that really didn't know him and they just, saw him for the first time
acting
that way, they'd be like, okay, fuck this tool.
Dude, the first couple times like I went, I was like, dude, get this fucking shirt on. And I remember like coming up with ideas in my head when I found out we were going to wrestle each other,
Yeah.
I wanted it. I did like a sneak attack thing where I came in from behind and smashed out him in body real quick. So then it was just me and Kev for the beginning of the match. At first, I wanted to do something where I pull a shirt out and fucking throw it at him. I was like, I'm not starting this match until you put the shirt on.
That would have been hilarious.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You should put that in your back pocket.
I always get a kick out of like muscular dudes who like one barely diet and two smoke cigarettes, and he's like
That's him.
Yeah, and he calls smoking cigarettes hacking darts, which is like
Hacking a dart, bro. Hacking a dart, bro.
when you guys put together matches, like doesn't he like gets like easily distracted and then he'll just like disappear and go smoke cigarettes?
Dude, you can't
and come
find
back
him
and be
for
like,
shit.
what am I doing? What am I doing? He just
Yeah, like he used to do that. Like when we first, started together. Every time that he would have a spot or something coming up in the match, he'd be like, "Hey, when it's time, give me my cue, eh? Tank, give me my cue."
just pay attention.
Yeah, like what the fuck, And like the first time we actually had a match with him, I think it was me, Body, and Muscle versus the Overdogs. It was when they were still tagging.
Yeah.
And man, he was so nervous. He was freaking out. And like, you know how you got your match planned, but like there's last minute changes. Like,
they were making his head
oh
spin.
man, dude. I've never seen somebody get more nervous. Like he looked like he was gonna throw up. He's like, no. He's like, I can't even fucking remember the shit that we already had, planned out. And it's like, why the fuck? He's like, please don't add any more. And Sab's like,
I remember he was like literally begging to not add anymore. Like, please don't.
yeah, like please, dude. Like he was so nervous.
And you're wrestling the boss.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And
Yeah.
like he was sandbagging on some I forget what it was. I think Seb like put him up for what was it, that Kryptonite Crunch or something?
Yeah.
No, he didn't sandbag. It was he actually grabbed the rope so
To balance himself, like, no.
yeah, so he couldn't take the move or some shit. And they're like, what the
man.
fuck? He just cracks me out. Like I love him so much when it comes to that. But
That's awesome.
I do have a story about him.
It pertains me because I have a story about it.
Do you want to go
Let's
first?
trade.
No, you go first.
Okay.
Because it might be the same story.
Okay. Well, this was at the which show was this? I forget what show it was. But it was recent.
Yeah.
And Scott Hunter ends up coming to me, commentary guy at Smash. He comes up. He's like, "You'll never guess what just happened." So I'm listening, and he's like, "So, I was talking to Muscle, and apparently Muscle was supposed to go and pick up Matt Sydal from somewhere, whatever the case may have been. But they were like, yeah, Alex, you still have to go and pick him up. But they were calling him Evan Bourne. And Alex was like, what do you mean? He's like, you want me to pick up Evan Bourne? He's like, I thought I was picking up Matt Sydal.
Somebody told me this, I forgot.
Yeah, and he's like, Scott Hunter was like, hold on a minute. Did you just say that? You do know that Evan Bourne and Matt Sydal are the same person, right? And he's like, wait, what? He's like, really? He's like, yeah. And then, I guess he just walked away. And then he came over to us and told us that. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, everybody in the circle was, freaking out about it. And then he ended up coming over, and I was like, dude, I got to tell you something to Muscle.
Yeah.
Dude, did you know that Evan Bourne and Matt Sydal are the same person? And he's like, dude, I just found that out.
Oh, my God.
I was like, are you fucking
out.
kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
He's like, no, man. I'm like, you'd think that you'd be surprised if it was like Rey Mysterio or something,
course.
and if he had another gimmick without a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was nothing different about Matt Sydal and Evan Bourne. But it was just
exactly the same.
But literally,
It's just a different name.
that story is him. You know what I mean? That
To a
just
T.
sums him up.
That's not the story I have. Did you
What's
ever hear
yours?
the story with Blackwood?
Maybe.
Where he comes up to Blackwood, and now mind you, I'm not gonna take full credit for me being the person that brought, but I told Blackwood to start coming to Smash shows with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just Blackwood would always come to the Smash shows with me. He would always ride with me, and then he started riding with you, and then he started riding. You know what I mean? Started going more and more.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, just roll up. And, like, what's the worst that could happen? You know what I mean? Like, just meet these guys.
Yeah, just start coming around.
So then, obviously, they start using him. He starts doing the seminars, start doing stuff like that, and they start using him, and then now everybody knows him. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows Kev. So I get this text that I'm on tour, and he goes, dude, you're never going to believe what just happened.
Oh.
And I'm like... And I feel like, I feel like that, like, Muscle's definitely one of those dudes where, like, you have to start that sentence like that. You'll never believe what just happened. Right? Yeah. So he goes, Muscle just came up to me and goes, dude, you must be super pumped to, like, work with your dad. And he legit thought I was Blackwood's dad. He said, it must be rad that you get to work with your dad. And then Blackwood was like, who are you talking about? And like, Andy, man, like you work with your dad, like you come here and you
he's dead serious.
And he was dead serious. He thought that I was Blackwood's dad.
Because do you think, like, I've heard like
That's great.
I've heard like Tommy N call you dad before.
Yeah.
Like, does Kevin call you that?
No.
Do you think that, or do you think he really just thought you guys like looked alike?
I don't know.
Because you have tattoos.
Yeah, I thought maybe he
here.
heard you like refer to you as dad or something. Like,
if
as
that's
a joke.
the case, Blackwood's gonna be bald in like 4 years.
I don't think I ever heard that story.
Yeah, I forgot about
Straight
that.
up just called me dad.
Whenever there's like free food, whether it's like pizza, fucking cake, whatever, like
Dude,
Muscles just houses
I
it.
fucking saw
It's
that
great.
dude eat like half a pizza once. Like he
whenever
came back.
he piles them up.
Dude, he had like 6 pieces of pizza on a plate, and I was just like,
Well, Body had the video of, I think it was somebody's birthday, so there was a cake, and you guys were planning your match.
Yeah, I think it was the gold tournament.
You can see the video of like Kevin planning a match with somebody, and Muscles just sitting there with this fucking plastic plate and just eating cake and like not paying attention to one thing that's going on, eating a huge piece of cake.
amazing.
He's ridiculous.
Super jacked without a shirt on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The fucking best.
Or even like when we did that Comic-Con tour. We're all going out to eat and shit. It was just really weird. We're like, Alex, are you coming with us? Like, he's just like doing whatever. Who knows? But we're like, Alex, are you coming to get food with us? And he's like, no, man, I got croissants. Like, he just had a box of croissants, and he did that like 3 days.
Dude.
Yeah, because he got him like from the venue or something.
Yeah,
I think
like
he just
literally 3 days in a row. Nah, man, I'm good. I got croissants and I like tell him this that he did that before, and he doesn't remember it. He's my age. I think he's just a little bit older.
Okay,
so 24.
Yeah, because I mean that. I'm trying to think. When I toured with Buried Alive, I was 17, 18, 19, like that area. And, like, I was vegetarian at the time. And, like, in good shape, big, had musculature, and was eating, like... I'd go on tour with Buried Alive and buy, like, 2, like, huge Italian loaves of bread.
Yeah.
And dip it in Ragu sauce.
And live on that.
And that's what I would, like, eat. That was, like, my meal for the day.
Yeah.
Or, like, a Veggie Delight, sub. And it was probably just because my body was just kicking test, like super amounts of test.
Yeah.
At that time.
Super young and just jazzed.
Yeah, I guess that's like the thing, but man, like he can't do that.
Live on croissants.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he eats at all. Yeah, he went 3 days just eating croissants. Like,
what does he do? Does he have like a shoot job?
Personal trainer, man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! So he just works out all the time.
Has a lot of
That's all he does. Okay.
Loves chicks. Man.
That makes sense.
Loves talking about chicks. That's like me and Sanjay always go like in Impact, like Eli Drake and Chris Masters or Chris Adonis. Like whenever the two of them are like talking to each other, like me and Sanjay are always like, dude, what do you think they're talking about? And it's like 100% of the time, it's either chicks or weightlifting. Like awesome. It's like that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's weird because like every time I see Eli Drake, that dude is fucking huge.
He's the same as like he loses his shirt instantly.
Yeah.
And actually same thing. Like everybody hates him when they first meet him, but then you learn to love. He's the same. He's actually pretty much the same thing as Muscle, like a more advanced Muscle version.
Yeah,
like just loses his shirt instantly. Everyone hates him when they first meet him, but then you learn to love him, and same thing. Pretty much. My favorite Muscle story was when, not to keep this going any longer, but
we're interviewing Kev, we're talking Muscle.
We're just talking Muscle, Alex. Smash Wrestling. was when it was Mike. Remember Mike? Were you there?
Bailey. Yeah, I was right there.
Mike Bailey versus Bobby Lashley at Smash Wrestling, which was awesome. Just to see Bobby Lashley wrestling at like a small, intimate, like hot, packed crowd, was just fucking sweet. But Mike Bailey's doing these fucking like turning flip ensiguris and diving, and Bobby Lashley's catching him in midair, and like just all the shit that Speedball Mike Bailey. Just look at him; the guy can do some amazing stuff.
Yeah, he's insane.
Insane. And then, not that it wasn't pretty, like as Bailey's hitting all this stuff, like Bennett and Anthony Nicometti, and everyone's like watching this match, they're like, "Holy fuck, man, this is crazy!"
Yeah.
And then they do something. Bobby Lashley just fucking snatches up Mike Bailey and just hits a fucking straight up SmackDown mid-2000 spine buster, like bang, like not even like the Arn Anderson like twist, like just straight up, straight down, and fucking Muscles just goes, "Whoa!" He's like, dude.
He flipped.
like took his hat off. Like his mind was blown.
He stood up. He's like, "Yeah, dude." It was. I lost my mind.
Yeah.
Nothing against Bobby Lashley. Like it was a nice spine buster, but like Muscles just lost his shit.
Like earlier in the match, I was just trying to be like, "Dude, like, isn't this crazy?" Just trying to like appreciate the match with him. And he's just like, "Yeah." And that spine buster comes, dude. It was WrestleMania.
That's so cool.
Dude, that's what popped him.
Yeah, but you got like David versus Goliath. So like you have like,
I mean, I saw the spine buster. It was pretty awesome.
that story is sick as hell.
Yeah.
In general, like Speedball just trying to get the monster down.
Yeah, just doing whatever
and
he can.
then just
snatches him up and we'll bang him.
It's a straight up just spine buster. Still standing.
Just like up and down, bang, bang.
Yeah. I love that.
Muscles popped real big.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. Check out the muscle.
All right, let's get back
to
into Kevin.
Uh-huh.
So, other side of you is that you're a producer and you do music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walked in while I was making a beat.
Yeah.
So it was loud.
This is it. I get asked these questions fucking all the time. I never get to ask these questions. So, what made you go to rap? Like, what was like the inspiration? Like when you were like, who was the guy? Who was your guy?
All right. Well, I would like to say that I got into music and wrestling at about the same time. But I have two brothers, all right? I have a little brother, I have an older brother. And whenever me and my little brother would hang out with my older brother, he would always be just blasting rap music. And it was always Tupac and Biggie and like DMX and like some hard shit like that. And, that's all I really heard around him. And I really looked up to him, I've always looked up to my older brother and just wanted to be just like him, And, I thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. And I remember him popping in a CD when we were driving around. I think we were in NT. He just pops in this CD. He's like, "You want to hear my friends rap?" And I was like, "Your friends rap?" So he pops in the CD, and it sounded legit, Like, I couldn't tell the difference between, just, like, professionals or, amateur recording or whatever, but he pops this in. I thought it was incredible, and I was like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "That's my buddy Nick," and I've known his friend Nick, since, I was born.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I'm like 7 years old.
Yeah, the fact that like someone you knew made this
I was like, it was on a CD, like it was recorded, there's a beat on it, like how
it sounds like the other stuff you'd heard.
It blew my mind. It was almost like, I had no idea how to wrap my mind around it. So I just remember my parents bought me like a keyboard, not knowing, that I would be messing around on it and trying to make songs and things like that. So like every time that my brother Charlie would bring over his friend Nick just to visit, I'd be like, I think that he was like a superstar. So I was like, I remember I had this little radio. It had like a built-in microphone, and if you put in a tape cassette and hit like the record button on it, it would actually like record you, like on a blank cassette or whatever. And so I would like literally, just make up melodies and shit like that, and I would write lyrics down, and I'd force my little brother to sing lyrics.
That's sweet.
And I would show, his friend these songs and stuff, and he would always be like bobbing his head to, my 7-year-old songs and things like that. So it was crazy. Like, I just stuck with it. Like,
Yeah.
ever since then, I remember that moment, him showing me his friends rapping.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind.
a
I was like,
DIY,
I have to do this.
That's great.
The first time I heard that was, I never had aspirations to be a musician ever. Like, I'd listen to Led Zeppelin. Obviously, we come from different worlds, but like, I'd listen to like Led Zeppelin or something like that, and I'd be like, I can't fucking do it. I still to this day, man, I listen to fucking Jimmy Page, and I'm just like, I'd never be able to write this.
Yeah.
Ever. You know what I mean? Like, it would take me fucking years to write one Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the second I heard Black Flag with like this punk band, I was just like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was still had like, there was still moments that like I felt Led Zeppelin in it. You know what I mean? Like, I would hear it and be like, oh fuck, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool that you had that, like, where like, and I guess like something in the realm of like whatever you're inspired by, once it comes into your world, then you realize how real it can be.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when we were kids, I never thought I would ever wrestle
Yeah.
in my life. And then someone said, oh, there's literally a wrestling school just over the border. It's like, oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
like I've heard people say before, like, you know, you see WWF on television and WrestleMania and these pay-per-views and these big shows, and it looks so like unattainable. Is that the word I'm
Yeah.
looking for? And then you know, then they really like, oh, there's a smaller independent show this weekend. They go see that, and it's like, oh, I could do that, and
Yeah.
then that's you know, and then that's how they get started.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's funny, too, because I feel like I'm more the other realm than I am that world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never in my life, I guess with rap it's like a little different thing, because it's so, I feel like my world isn't as evolving as rap is. It's fucking always evolving. And like, what was popular 3 months ago isn't popular now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Something like that, where like in the rock, rap, or rock metal world, it's like there's only so many chords you can fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be really talented to get on the radio. But it's funny because I just never had the aspirations to be a Nickelback. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm using them not to make fun of them. I'm using it as like, they sell millions of fucking records. Of
course, yeah.
They're on the fucking radio all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to do it. And like, I think when it came to wrestling, I didn't care about WWE in my entire life. Like, I just want to do what's punk still to this day. And it's
Yeah.
like, Smash Wrestling is punk. and
yeah,
fucking,
progress. And,
yeah, like shit like that, where it's just like, I can do what I want, have fun, cool. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
it.
yeah. Which
But it's like cool that like with your music and with your with wrestling, like the way you're doing it is kind of in the same vein, where you like, I don't know, like it came into your world and you're just like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and I just never stopped. That
Yeah.
was the thing. Like, and you know, I feel like that's how that sets me apart from other people, because you know, there's people that, you know, will do it for like a few years and then just, you know, stop for a while or whatever, and then maybe pick it back up or whatever. I've always just been that consistent dude.
Yeah.
And like, people have always wondered that, like, you know, how do you not get bored of this or whatever? I don't know. It's just I have this passion for like entertainment,
Yeah,
music,
that's-
wrestling,
yeah,
you know.
consistency is fucking crucial in anything. I mean,
Yeah.
even like since we started this, like I've always said, it's like consistency. Like we have, you know, I want to have a podcast come out every Thursday. The consistency, 'cause
Yeah.
I think that'll pay off after a while. But
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with music. Same thing with wrestling. Like, you know, if you're training for wrestling, like you got to train. It's got to be consistent. You can't like when I went to wrestling school, I remember it was like those were the guys like we hated. Was like, dude, this guy. You know, let's say we're trying to teach him how to take a hip toss and an arm drag, and he's come around 3-4 times and he's starting to get it, and he doesn't show up for 2 weeks. Then he comes back, and then it's like starting from fucking scratch. It's like, because the
Yeah.
consistency's not there. It just fucks up the flow.
But another thing that it kind of sucks with it is that, you know, music and wrestling, it's like they're both like a full-time thing. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah,
it's really hard. Like, I can't be in the studio like every single day. It's like, you know, I have my shoot job, and then I get out, and then I have to go to the gym, and then like, you know, obviously there's training with wrestling.
Yeah.
And then by, you know, when that's all said and done, it's like midnight, and like I have a girlfriend too, and then I have family, and it's like it sucks.
Finding the time. You know, that's the trick, is finding the time to divvy all these things up. But that's, I mean, I don't know. That's what I think is cool, is just doing the shit that you like. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
That's speaking of the fucking the Jim Carrey documentary.
Yeah.
Puff just tweeted this, and I've heard Jim Carrey say this before. Like, one of the coolest things ever. You ever hear him talk about? He said in the documentary, like, he's talking about his dad.
Yeah.
Because his dad was really funny too, and he's like,
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
yeah, I saw. You know, he's like, I saw this happen to my dad, where, like, you know, he had kids. So he gave up on his dream, and he just became an accountant. Yeah. And then at 51 years old, he lost his job. Yeah. So, and that just destroyed him. And he's like, so you can fail at something, you know, that you don't even want to do. Yeah. So you might as well do what you want, because if you go the other route and you fail at that, that's, you know, fuck, man.
That's a dead end.
Yeah, you know.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, I've been doing a band for 20 years, and this has been the greatest year of my life. But at the same time, this is the year that's like cracking me, like a big time.
That's usually how it works.
Now I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell. I had a fucking freak out moment when we were in Europe, and I just texted him and I said, dude, if you notice me going off the rails, bring me back. Like, I need someone to like help me, because, dude, I'm fucking touring constantly, trying to be a wrestler. Come home, try to work out constantly.
Yeah.
Try to make everything happen. Now there's 2 lawsuits against the band.
Yeah.
So, like,
you're just being pulled in a lot of different directions.
Yeah. So it's just like 20 years down the line, success has happened, and like, dude, I just played. Like, I didn't know this was a big deal, but my band sold out Club Coco in London, which is like one of the biggest venues in London.
It's fucking cool.
Like, we got done, and like there were plaques with our names on it that was like, you sold out Coco.
That's
like,
super
this
cool.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I got the thing, and then after I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, so now it's like, it's weird. You just have to, when that shit happens and you get like fucking tight wound, and I've been there, you just have to make sure that you're fucking wrangled. Like, you have a way to wrangle yourself in. And like, you think that like, okay, shit, I have a girlfriend, and like, I haven't been spending time with her. That's when you kind of realize that like the people, like the support team that you have around you, they're the ones that are gonna like always bring you back. Yeah,
unravel you a little bit.
When you're fucking far, and dude, it happens, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's probably happened a few times where you're just like, well, fuck, I got to give one of these up. But then like the next day happens, and you're still doing that thing, and then the next day happens, and you're still doing that thing, and then like, you know, 3 years down the line, you're still doing both of those things. Mm-hmm. It just hasn't changed. You just figured out a way to deal with it.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Jimmy, you're doing them for, you know, music and wrestling. Like, you're doing them for a reason, because you have passion for them.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's fucking awesome that you were able to like intertwine the two.
Yeah,
you know what
and
I'm
it's
saying?
fucking paying off because you have fucking people that follow you.
Definitely,
I mean, you have more followers than either of us have.
Yeah.
On both things. So
yeah, but that was just me on like a social media grind too. Like, I would go through.
But you're grinding either
you know,
way.
Yeah, like famous like rappers and stuff. Like fans of you know, rappers similar to my style. Just going through them and like following them, and you know, them following me back. You know, which will lead them to my music and things like that.
It's work, you know what I mean? I've never done that.
Yeah, same with wrestling too. Like, I would go through, you know, like wrestlers like John Morrison, for example, just go through his fans, follow some of those people, and I have gained fans. You know, like legit fans.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's wild is you're doing all this stuff, and then you figured out this crazy little algorithm.
Yeah.
That like gets people noticing you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to stay relevant, too. Like, I don't know if you remember last year I made a Pokemon rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it got like 1 million views.
Yeah,
and I thought, I was
basically
like,
went viral, right?
Yeah, it did. And like, I was getting all these, you know, messages from like, you know, major like Facebook pages, like with like millions of likes, like asking, you know, permission to use it and like shit like that. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. You know, like here comes at least some sort of recognition. Like, and I'm just trying to like make a living off of, you know, entertainment business.
Obviously.
You know, but then like with wrestling too, it's just like I'm so I mean, I love wrestling. I'm not going to stop until, I go all the way and I can, make a job off of it or whatever. But it was like people were telling me, like, dude, once you made that Pokemon rap and you were in the paper and, you were getting all this recognition, like, you should have been, like, putting everything out at once. You should have been in the fucking studio, like, just pushing material out. And, like, there's people that are unfollowing my page every day now because I'm not here as much. I'm, like, in the gym and the training.
Though,
and
you also have you don't have that person. Like, there's not, like, a mentor. You did this all yourself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a one-man band here, and it's really hard, and it just... I get depressed over it sometimes, too. Like, people will tell me all the time, like, dude, like my brother, he says always, like, dude, if you would have just kept fucking, making songs, at least, like, one a month, like, dude, you probably could have been, who knows, maybe you would have blown up by now, and it's just like, fuck.
But that's, like, Greg Iron was just talking about something that recently, too, with wrestling, but it's like, you gotta catch yourself when you start thinking like that, because, like you're saying, like, I wish I would have put more music out when the Pokemon stuff was going on. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
not at all.
you're moving backwards. Like, look ahead.
Another thing too is like quantity over quality.
Yeah, that too.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have all the quantity as possible, but like, if there's no weight behind it, what the fuck is it? You know
of course, yeah.
That too. And maybe, like, I mean, now I'm rewinding. Like, maybe if you would have done that, you wouldn't have been focusing on wrestling so much, and wrestling stuff might have not happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like, you're going to drive yourself nuts rewinding all the time. Just concentrate. Concentrate more. And look forward.
I think another thing, I mean, too, we put this over every single week about how, like, there is this crazy support system in Buffalo now.
Yeah.
Where, like, you guys didn't have that before.
No.
Like literally, you two and maybe, like, two other guys had each other, and you guys weren't even working the same shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, now, it's, like, dudes like Puff and Danny Garcia and Blackwood, like, Blackwood's not even, he's not on the C4 card or the Border City card, and he's just like, I'll go along with the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now there's, like, this, like, we kind of are, going back to your head, everybody's kind of looking out for each other. And, like, in my head, like, Danny Garcia is, like, obsessed with fucking leg locks right now. So, and you guys know how I am. Like, so my brain never stops thinking about wrestling. I don't ever think about anything for myself. So, like, I'm like, oh, shit, you could do this fucking thing. And I'm, like, sending him these fucking crazy 4:30 in the morning, can't sleep, text messages where I'm like, yo, man, like, try to think of, like, an arm wringer, but for, like, a fucking ankle, and then you tie this up, go to an STF, blah, blah, blah. And Danny's like, oh, shit, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like, so there's this weird support system where, like, we're all looking out for each other, thinking of things to do for each other.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And, like, that's never happened either. So, like, the hive mind is always going to be stronger than the single mind. And I think that's what's fucking rad about Buffalo right now, and what we have is that, like, I'm thinking about you. This sounds so...
Yeah, like energy and all that
like,
stuff.
I'm thinking about you, and I'm in fucking Belgium or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, stuff like that, where it's like, that didn't happen before.
Not at all.
That didn't exist,
Exactly, yeah.
I had a strong number of years in Buffalo where it was, like, just me.
Yeah.
Like, trying to do stuff in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And that's the thing. Like, Laura fucking thanks me all the fucking time. She's like, wow, like, he has a friend now. Or, like, with me, I know when he's down now. I think we're tighter than, I mean, we were friends before, but, like, now...
more like acquaintances, but
now he's, like, my best, I would put you in my, like, top 5 best friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, when he's down, I know when he's down. I know when shit's going on. And it's like, hey, dude, I'm freaking out. What do I do about this? And it's like, okay, 2 brains are better than 1. 3 brains are better than 1.
Because I'm sure, like, Kev, like you're saying, with doing, like, the music and the wrestling, it's like, sometimes it's tough because then you have your buddies from high school or just, like, friends, but, like, they went a different route where, they just work Monday through Friday and they're not trying to do these things. So when you get bummed out, like, I'm speaking for myself here, like, you get bummed out and then you try to reach out to them and they don't really get it. Like, my mom is the perfect example. Like, I can't go to her for any of this stuff. She just does not understand it.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why, like I'm saying, like, now it's nice. I can talk to Andy about this stuff, or you guys, or, You know what I mean? Now I can. Like, it's just nice to, or even my wife. Like before I even had her. Like it's it's just nice to be able to share common interests, especially when problems arise.
You know
with
what,
this
too,
kind of
man,
stuff.
is like what we do isn't a job. It's not technically considered a job.
No.
Yeah.
You know, even if you make it and you do make it money, I remember it was, I'd been doing the band for almost 6-7 years before my dad legit thought he thought I was just traveling around like New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I came home with like a substantial amount of money, I remember, and being like, oh, blah, blah, and he's just like, he thought I like robbed something. And he was like, where did this come from? And I was like, I just made this on tour. I didn't have a bank account.
Yeah.
I think it was something like $9,000,
Yeah.
something like that.
Where do I
Like,
put this?
And he was like, what did you do? Like, how did you get this? You must have robbed something.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Dad. Like, my band is like on tour constantly, and like I made this, doing this. It's hard for people to grasp arts as an actual job.
Yeah.
So it's hard
as income.
Yeah, and it's hard to like go to like, and it sucks to say this. It's hard to go to like a pedestrian job, someone that works a pedestrian job, and there's no knocking that at all.
Yeah.
It's just a different
And
path.
saying like, "Hey man, like I'm having a really hard time with this wrestling thing," and then just be like, "Oh, get a job."
Yeah, I was just that's usually the answer is just get a job. Yeah.
You know, and it's like they just don't understand that, and that's completely fine. Everybody has goals, and I think that none of our goals is the first thing we think of is like, I need a house with a white picket fence, a dog, 2 kids,
Yeah.
this nice
not.
car. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just isn't. It's like I'm gonna get there. It just might not be.
Yeah, now's not the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna take a little while. Yeah.
That's, I mean, literally, like, this might sound stupid, but like there was a number of times in my 20s where I thought about getting a dog, and I was like, I can't, like, because it would always go to my head, like if I get a dog, I can't travel. Like, how am I going to travel if I have a dog? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it would stuff. Like, I remember making decisions, and I was thinking, like, I would go to wrestling first, and I'd be like, well, what am I going to do? Like, what if I got signed and I had to move or something like that? I can't own a house. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just shit like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, a lot of people's brains just don't think that way. Yeah. I was literally just talking about this today with my sister. Like, my mom is the perfect example of like she like recently just discovered how to use Facebook, and she's pretty into it. And like,
Oh, my dad's retired, so he knows what's happening on Facebook before I do.
yeah, but the weird thing is now, like I said, my mom she just doesn't understand it. Like, if I don't work Monday through Friday, she just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
But like now with her being on Facebook and she sees me like posting like going to Montreal this weekend and then I have to go here, and then it's like now she has a little more of an understanding of what I do, which is like kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was before. I mean, I think she literally just thought I was like you said with your dad. I think she literally just thought I was like doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like for a long time.
Yeah, and it's funny, like when shit goes down, like still to this day, like every time I die at this point in time as a business, like
Yeah.
it's an industry. Like everything is there. Like I there's contracts signed in every single thing. There's people that work for us. There's a team of people that work for us.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just the 5 of us. You know what I mean? And even today, like, you know, he picks me up at the airport. How was tour? Oh, it was great. Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, you got these 2 lawsuits. Might be time. Just get a job. You know what I mean?
Might be
It's
time
just
to give it up, son.
Right, Dad. Right.
I remember one of the first times I was wrestling Tyson Dukes in Canada. This is like mid 2000s, like early 2000s, like maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. I was wrestling Tyson Dukes, and I remember I had just deadlifted earlier in the day, and Tyson was on the outside of the ring, and I went to go pick him up, and like my lower back just like gave out, and I fell over, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like,
Yeah.
And he was just like staring at me, and I was like, "Shit!" And like I could kind of get up, but there was obviously like something going on in my lower back.
Yeah.
And then like that was like the first time it was like a really like scary, like, oh shit, like something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I remember like I had I remember like telling my parents, I was like, dude, yeah, like, you know, I had a match on Saturday and like my back and da-da-da, and the same thing. They were just like, oh, well, might be time to do something else. And it was like, I don't know. I didn't think that was going to come from them. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have had this conversation with them. You know what I mean? I was like, this sucks. Just a big buzzkill.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember, or like, do you guys ever see on social media when I post like motivational type of things?
Yeah.
And like, I know I see a lot of people, they make statuses and tweets like, quit, type in motivational quotes. Like, they're not going to help anybody or whatever. But honestly, like, the only reason that I would ever do that is actually not for people really to like see it or like gain attention from it or whatever. But I mean, obviously it helps people in a way, but it was helping me more.
Yeah, like keeping you in that mindset.
Yeah, like just seeing it, because like I'm on social media all the time, just obviously for my career and things like that.
Yeah.
But reason I bring it up is just because I've been in this mindset for years. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the law of attraction.
Yeah.
And like, if my girlfriend listens to this, if my girlfriend listens to this, she's just gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's talking about this shit again." Yeah, because like, I mean, whatever. I mean, it can sound like hokey or like whacked out. Me and
Andy were just texting about the butterfly effect like a week ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I wholeheartedly like believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me so many times. And unfortunately, in the past few months, I haven't really been on top of it. But it really is a real thing.
If you recognize it,
yeah, and like, I've been applying that just to my career for a really long time, but I've been telling myself like, I'm gonna stick with this and be as consistent as possible, no matter how long it's gonna take, because regardless, even if it takes like 20-30 years, like I'll be okay with that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that has really helped me in my career.
No, that's
too.
because like that's how I am now, and I wish I would have looked at things like that when I was your age. I didn't.
Because you've brought it up too, like even at training, you're like, positivity goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of just goes over people's heads.
Oh yeah.
Because I think mindset really is like 100% of it.
Dude, there's a ton of things that you can think of, like the number one main thing is like, act like Brad Pitt, get treated like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
The way you carry yourself is always going to get you where you need to be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And confidence is like a real thing. Like, that's not like, like, I feel like anyone who isn't confident, and I mean, I have things that I'm not confident in at all. Wrestling being 100% one of them. But yeah, if you're confident about something, like, in my mind, Every Time I Die is the greatest band ever.
Yeah.
Can't do wrong. Until my brain says, this isn't fun anymore, we aren't doing what we normally do.
Yeah.
Like, then it's time to call quits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, when I'm not putting out a record that is better than the previous record, in my mind, it's just like, okay, I'm just going through the motions. Fuck this, I'm out.
Exactly.
Can I tell a real weird story?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick. When I was living in Cincinnati, I was probably like 20 years old at the time. Much like you've talked about, like in your past, like, when I went to wrestling school, money was like just didn't exist.
Yeah.
So there was like, some shoplifting involved to like stay alive, and like just, we always just called it survival. Like, you just got to do what you got to do when you have no money. And I remember one night I came home late at night, and my roommate was having sexual intercourse with a random girl in his room, and her clothes were like in our living room.
Yeah.
And I saw her purse, and there was like money sticking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna I feel terrible saying it out loud right now. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna take that money.
Yeah.
And then I think I maybe like reached for it, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I just caught myself, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not this dude. Like, what the fuck am I doing? This is horrible. Like, it's just the situation I was in. You know what I mean? Like, I needed money so bad. And then I remember from then on, I just thought to myself, I was like, how can I expect like good things to come my way if I'm doing shitty stuff like this?
Yeah.
And then I just stopped. And like, Kev, like you were saying, like, I noticed like a lot of things changing, just like as far as like positivity and like mental attitude and the way people acted towards me, and it just that was like one of my first like wake up calls.
For sure. Yeah, like I was even on this like YouTube kick. Like I would literally just type in like people's experiences with like law of attraction and things like that. Yeah. And I even have an app on my phone, and it reminds me like every 2 hours or 3 hours to focus on what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at 12 o'clock, it's going to remind me again.
Like what does it say?
It says, let me just check and see what the app is really quick. Well, the app is called Attraction.
Okay.
I'll see if a notification has come up on my phone, but
I will admit I tried to read The Secret and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to read it?
It doesn't make sense.
See?
Yeah.
And like,
please spend 20 seconds concentrating on attracting your wish.
That's great.
It's just your mind just
like
has
that.
to be in it.
Yeah.
So
that type, I mean,
20 seconds.
This isn't
That's all
like
they're asking for.
shitting on you at all. But like maybe it's just from where I come from, my like brain of like going to conforming to some sort of like idea that like a group of people do in my brain is like, no, like just stay away from it because it's just crazy. You know what I mean? And that's big. When it comes to religion, I'm just not a religious person.
Of course.
I'm not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's scary. And I remember like Jordan Buckley like read The Secret, went all in, went to like the seminars and stuff like that. And you know, he went to a few of them, and then like Biggie, our manager, he was like going to doing them and stuff like that. And then they were like, "Yo, you got to read this," and I was just like, "No way."
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then, but in my head, I just have a thing where it's like, I say it all the time on this podcast. It's like, if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's where it is. And like, you fail, and you just can't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And like, the worst thing that happens is someone says no to you. Who gives a fuck? Like, say no then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the case, I'll find a way through. I'll find a way for you to say yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most people are scared of that, and they don't realize, like, in a lot of situations, like, if you fail, it's like, okay, well, you're right back where you started. Like, so, you know, what did you have to lose?
Yeah.
Like, at least you tried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I don't know.
This took a weird turn.
That's all right.
Usually, like, people are laughing. Stuff that's like shit stories.
Telling jokes and shit stories and jerk off stories.
Let me just tell you my one story where I've proved to myself that you know, that law of attraction thing. I mean, I understand what you're saying about, you know, conforming to a thing.
It's just conforming. Like that is it. It's not the matter of what it means.
Exactly.
It's the thing of just like, oh, okay, like, you're gonna tell me this.
I try not to like talk about it to people. You know, I just kind of, it's like a personal thing almost.
Yeah, like
I was gonna bring this up. C.T. Fletcher is the perfect example of like law of attraction. He talks about it all the fucking time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like C.T. he was just on Rogan's podcast.
I was just listening on the way here.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like the way he talked. But dude, the guy's had 3 fucking heart attacks. If you want to talk about going, like, that dude ain't gonna stop.
Exactly. Like the story that I wanted to share with you guys is, I just think it's really cool because it worked out exactly like how I pictured it in my head. I remember asking Jesse like a whole bunch of questions about doing WWE extra work, and I wasn't only just asking him, but I was asking like, you know, just anybody that I could that might have
anyone that
information on it. I'm like, well,
there's a bunch of dudes in the area. Jesse, Asylum.
Exactly. Yeah.
Has
so
Bill
I mean,
done?
Yeah, he has.
Bit,
you know, I've even talked to Bill about it and
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm just like, man, like I just want that experience, like, because that's obviously everybody's dream. So like, you know, I just want to see how it works. I want to work for the place. You know, just do it.
Just want to go there.
It's like, just to get it off my bucket list, you know. And I remember, what was it, 2016 or whenever it was, I forgot, but it was coming up on my birthday, and I remember I was in here actually, and I saw the commercial, and it said November 14th, which is my birthday, Monday Night Raw, get your tickets.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at the TV, and I'm like, man, I'm working that show. Like, it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna fucking work that show.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I mean, I wasn't like super persistent about it, like just asking everybody and, being nuts about it online or anything, like, trying to get all this information at once.
Yeah.
It was just like here and there, like, Jesse, like, what do you think I should do? And, whatever. And I remember Body just hit me up, and he was like, why don't you just hit up Brody and just see what he has to say? And I'm like, I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not going to fucking bother Brody or whatever. And
Brody Lee, a.k.a.
Luke Harper.
Luke Harper, yeah.
He's an area guy.
So, I mean, I just hit him up, and it wasn't anything, like, spectacular. Like, help me out, man. Just like, hey, any info on just how to pass my name along or whatever? And he's like, yeah, you're good, man. And I was like, what? He's like, just give me your info and you're good. I was like, oh, shit. Like, and this is, like, 4 days before the event. And usually they tell, they want to book guys, like, months in advance or weeks or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes, but sometimes it is last second.
But I just remember, like, taking showers and just, like, thinking to myself, like, man, I'm really going to work that show on my birthday. Like, that's going to be awesome, you know? And then I get the email the one day, like, you're working Raw on your birthday. And it was just fucking nuts because, like, it wasn't like I was hoping and wishing and praying.
Yeah.
It was more so like, I'm fucking doing that.
Yeah, you told yourself you're going to do
and
it.
dude, it happened, and, like, I got that crazy TV time. Like, I got these awesome pictures that, people are hanging in their living rooms because, like, it was just, like, super cool, and everything worked out exactly like how I pictured it, which is super weird.
Because you didn't maybe it. You just said, like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, and I feel like that's mindset. Like, whether law of attraction is, like, real or not, I just feel like you just create your own life. You know what I mean?
That's because even, like, it sounds so small, but, like, a lot of people would have tapped out, like you were saying, like, oh, I don't want to message Brody. What if he doesn't write me back? Or what if he tells me I'm no good? Or, like, you know what I mean? And they would have tapped out there.
Exactly.
Where it's like, I'm saying, like, that's for you. Like, what do you got to lose? Like, just write the guy.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
I told Body no. Like, I'm not going to be that dude, Yeah.
And like, what would have happened?
Yeah, it was easy as that. Just give me your info.
It's all it took.
Yeah.
Or whatever, And
a lot of that breaks down to, like, because you've told me, like, Brody, he's, he wouldn't have done that if he thought you were shindy.
Yeah, definitely not. I've talked to him so many times.
Yeah,
too,
like he's seen that's from you working hard. Like, he's seen your stuff and you've gotten out there.
He's given me match critiques, like a lot of in-depth stuff. So
he wouldn't have done that for just anybody. He
did that
definitely. He did that because he knows you're working hard.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, that goes with the whole mindset thing. I believe, at least. Nobody has to believe.
I'm literally just saying that. Like, it's just like, usually when someone gives you that, then the next thing they're handing you a book.
Yeah.
And they're saying, like, whatever. And I met a dude that worked for one of my favorite bands. And if you could probably guess this. I don't want to just name the band because they're one of my all-time favorite bands. But you can guess because it's me, if you know me. But they said when this guy used to be a drunk, it was scary that he would, like, come in, he would give you a look, and then you'd be worried that he might kick the fuck out of you. But he was drinking. Well, now he's sober. And the worst is, he gives you a look like he's going to beat the fuck out of you. And
he's not drunk anymore.
Feels bad, and he hands you a Bible and says, like, hey, man, maybe we could read something out of it.
Yeah.
Like, to me is like, just beat me up. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. I would never be
be
preachy like that,
Yeah, that's the thing. I was going to say that before with, like, the risk of saying something about religion, but, like, if you're a religious person, it brings positivity in your life. It's fucking awesome.
That's exactly what I say.
Same thing, like law of attraction. Like, if that's your thing, man, you're like, you know what I mean. But it's just like, or even fucking veganism or whatever. You know what I mean? If you're vegan, that's cool. But it's like pushing it on other people.
I always
that's
say
the
it
problem.
is like whatever makes you a better person.
Yeah.
That's great. As long as it doesn't harm other people.
And just don't realize, like, this is what I do. This is what everybody else should be doing too. Like, if someone else does something else, whatever, man. Like, just
Yeah.
I have 2 weird Luke Harper stories.
Yeah.
let's hear them.
One, he posted, like, he's like really into hockey.
Yeah.
And he posted some stuff about VG, so I just sent him a direct message. Like, his kid, like, is geared up with VG. And I was like, hey, man, like, hit me up. Like, I'll send you stuff. And he never responded.
That's a good story.
And then the other one is, like, the first time I ever met.
Did you get the thing where he read it too and didn't write you back?
No, I didn't see, like, a scene or anything.
Okay,
like that.
gotcha.
I just was like, I don't know, like, hey, I noticed you're wearing VG stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to hook up, man, I'll sort you out.
Yeah. Get you sorted.
And then the other one was the first time I ever met Baron Corbin. Mm-hmm. He was out on tour with SmackDown. but he wasn't wrestling for SmackDown.
He wasn't on the
wrestling.
roster yet.
He wasn't even like full time at NXT at that point. I mean, not full. He just wasn't on TV yet.
Okay.
But he was like an NXT wrestler at that time, and I think at that time he was just doing like literally developmental matches, like dark matches. Every once in a while, you'd see him on TV, and he'd be getting like not squashed, but like he'd be getting beat by like a big name, like a bigger name. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh man, I really like your band." Like he sent me a message like, "I'll be in Buffalo tonight if you want to meet." I said, "Yeah, sure." So he put us on the list or whatever. We went and saw him, and then like after, he was like, "Hey, I can't come in the crowd, but like blah blah blah." So we were like on the section. We were like by where the production is. Like I kept seeing fucking P.S. Hayes like walking around. I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
But like you weren't on camera side, or we were on camera side, so you couldn't see us. Like we were where the cameras were.
Yeah.
And I kept like seeing like P.S. Hayes, blah blah blah, and then Baron came out and like said what's up, but he was like right where we were, and suited up, all that shit, because he was like not working.
Yeah, he's trying to make an impression.
And then Luke Brody had wrestled, and I'm standing there, and I'm the only person around, and he waved at me. Now, mind you, like, we know similar people, and, like, I've been to a million shows he's wrestled on the indies, and I think that we kind of
knew who each other were. Yeah.
And he waved, and I was like, and this is, like, straight up, like, when he was, like, in the WWE, he was like a big part of the story.
Yeah, with the Wyatt family stuff.
When he's backstage and he like waved, and I did like there's no way he's waving at me.
Yeah.
And, I did like the look around.
Look, yeah, is there somebody
like
else?
That, and I was like,
oh, you just
I did
you just
wave
faved him?
Yeah. Because I was like, there's no way he's waving at me. Like, I don't want to, and I didn't want to be like the guy that's like, oh hey, and then him go,
yeah. Like, not you, man.
Like shake his head, and then point next to me. So I just like put my head down, and I always felt really bad about that. That was it. So yeah, you're probably listening to this.
Sorry, man.
Sorry,
if you remember.
I don't know if you were waving at me, but I was like really weird. And I got a VG hookup for you if you'd like that.
If you want to open that old message.
VG's doing a pop-up shop for 3 days in Buffalo.
Right for real?
The Christmas show. They're gonna do like
the
leading
Christmas
up
show.
to the Christmas show, and I got all the stuff. They're doing like a whole bunch of Buffalo related stuff. It's gonna be really
That's
cool.
awesome. I was gonna say this earlier. If you guys check it out, did you see they did some? I don't know. I clicked on a link. Somebody put it up, and I clicked on a link.
Of everything, yeah.
Buffalo.
That was us.
Oh, you got
As we were like on tour, we were like figuring
making
out
stuff
things
up?
we could do.
Yeah. Do you know the link by any chance? The name? Fuck. Anyways, if anyone's traveling from out of town to Buffalo for the December 16th Every Time I Die Christmas show.
I think you can just go to that Every Time I Die Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's on there.
There's a link you can find, and it just tells you a lot of cool shit you can do in Buffalo.
Everything. Like Brendan Schaub's going to be in town. Brendan Schaub is doing stand-up the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
At Helium, which is literally walking distance from Riverworks.
There's a Sabres game. There's a Bills game.
Yeah. Like
the
restaurants, food, like where to get chicken wings, because you guys even put on there, like everybody knows Anchor Bar and fucking Duff's, but there's a lot of like other local places with good shit. Pizza, food bars, like you guys put shit about Niagara Falls.
Yep.
Like it was really cool. I looked at it yesterday.
Informative.
Very informative. Kevin Bennett, by the way, is going to be wrestling Joey Janela at the Christmas show.
Yo, Joey was in the UK the entire time we were.
Oh yeah, I think he's still there.
And he was like, "I could have got you booked," and I was like, "Dude,
you're
zero
playing
time.
every day." Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't have time to wrestle. And when I was over there,
a show every day.
I did, just to talk about myself. Since we've been talking about you.
Yeah, I did want to hear about the tour.
Go for it.
I called out the ICW locker room.
Oh yeah.
In the ICW.
Yeah, where they run, right?
They do their like home shows.
Yeah.
Like I called out Jack Jester. I called out Joe Coffey. And
Bram's kicking ass there again too. It's fucking sweet, man.
And And Jack Jester's the only one that answered back. Joe Coffey, I hit up Joe Coffey that day and was like, "Hey man, I wanted to like go to the gym with him."
Yeah.
But I hit him up and I was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna be in Scotland, blah blah blah." And he just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So of course I called him out. Got an Andy Williams chant.
Like, what, it was just in between songs? You just, like...
Dude, people started chanting my name for some reason, so I was like, I'm cutting a promo. I just grabbed the mic out of Keith's hand, and then there were, like, people wearing ICW shirts at the thing, and I just went for it.
Do you know, like, Andy's been getting, like, people, like I get... And when I was wrestling in ESW, like, people were, like, yelling, like, Heat's in the ring at me.
Yeah,
and Andy
that's awesome.
literally, Andy gets people saying it to him, like, in other countries.
Everywhere.
Like,
Every single show
that's cool.
on this tour, I got a Heat is in the ring.
Heat's in the ring, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
cool.
Belgium. I got one in Belgium. I got one at least 3 times in Germany.
Some guy from... did he email you? You said a guy from Italy who, like, barely even understands what we're saying. Was like,
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, like, wrestling talk.
Yeah.
He said he's in the ring.
But, yeah.
I got a great
just digs
compliment.
it.
A dude picked me up yesterday, and he goes, "Man, you're really light." Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. I've been training.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, that shit's fucking so cool, man.
Yeah.
Where, like, you hear it, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I always tell him, too, I'm like, Jesse, like, freaks the fuck out when I tell him, like, people in other countries say, like, he's in the ring, bro.
Yeah.
So it's super appreciative. That's, I don't know, so cool. Going over there, man, when you go and do stuff overseas, I mean, not that, like, if I go to fucking Detroit, and someone says, "Hey, man, I love the fucking podcast."
Yeah.
It's just so weird that it's so far away, and they're, like, paying attention.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's almost like, I would imagine for a band, too. It's like when you guys go and do shit, like, overseas, and you're like, oh, they know the lyrics to our songs.
It's
and, like,
crazy.
they know our shit. It's pretty much the same thing.
There was a bunch of, like, we played, there's a song called Revival Mode that Every Time I Die has. And
Yeah, you guys, I saw that.
we
you guys,
only played it one time at a Christmas show.
Yeah.
We've never played it.
And I remember I was there because I like that jam. And
Yeah.
I must have been there for it. I thought you guys played it all the
for
time.
sure. No.
Because I think you guys closed with it. And I was like, man, that's
Yeah.
a fucking sweet closer.
Only played it one time.
Yeah.
That one time. And then
Do that
on
more
this
often.
tour, we were like, fuck it, let's bring it back. So we decided to do it. And, like, there's, like, 2 really quiet parts in the songs, and you can hear just 1,000 people singing
That's
the lyrics.
That's badass.
It's fucking wild, man.
That's really
And
badass.
that was, like, that last UK tour was, like, you know, when you have those moments of, like, confidence where you're like, fuck, man. You know, we did, like, mainland, and I feel like mainland Europe for us has always been those are the shows where, and I'm sure you guys have probably been on, like, wrestling shows where you're like, oh, man, I got to work extra hard tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, just to get the crowd. And mainland Europe, for Every Time I Die, has just always been a fight. It's just,
Yeah.
they still don't know how to, like, grasp our band.
Uh-huh.
Some get it, some don't get it. And, like,
You just know going into it.
and it's basically like, fuck, no one walked out, so we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mission
Like,
accomplished.
awesome. Those UK shows are like, that happens, and the show is so fucking insane that, like, you walk away and you're just like, yep, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. Like, that UK tour that we just got off of was, and it's funny, man, that you do it with, again, with wrestling. I say it to you guys all the time. I try to make it relevant. I try to make it known to, and I can't say younger wrestlers because they've all wrestled longer than me, but, like, just to prove that, like, it's inspiring to know from an older dude looking at younger dudes and seeing younger dudes do cool shit.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring to me when I come home and, like, I'm in Europe and I fucking see Danny wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I can't wait to get home.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And wrestle. I can't wait to, like, get in a shitty car
Yeah.
and drive to fucking Canada. And, like, I might be on a card. I might not be on a card.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. But I'm with the guys. And,
Yeah.
like, I'm watching people do cool things.
So,
And it's, like,
yeah, seeing your buds do cool shit.
it's inspiring as fuck. And, like, we did the math, and I think we played 74 shows with Knocked Loose this year.
Yeah.
Isaac Hale, their guitar player, was born the year I graduated high school. And it's so fucking cool
It's bad. Yeah, it's so
to
cool.
see them just destroy. Like, they fucking kill crowds.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so fucking cool to see that, and it makes me so happy. And there's a picture, I just posted a picture the other day on Instagram of, like, me playing, and Isaac's, like, screaming at me, doing, like, the devil horns.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And it's, like, the coolest fucking
Oh,
thing.
fuck,
It's,
yeah, I
like,
didn't see that. Yeah, that's why I was wondering what that was.
And it was at Coco, and, like, that was just one of those days where, like, the place was hot as fuck,
Uh-huh.
and the crowd was as up as they possibly could
just
be.
lit.
And then even after he goes, dude, that was like one of the most special moments I've ever seen a band have.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, you know, just it's so cool that like my life, that if it ends tomorrow, which hopefully it doesn't, like so much young, like I'm not jaded at all. And it's funny because I was telling him, like with Seb, like dealing with Seb, I like got mad. I don't get mad at Seb, but Seb hit me up. He's like, "Oh yeah, the boys are all working Sarnia. You want to work Sarnia on January 19th or something like that?" And I was like, "Fuck yes." And then his next response was like, "Well, I'll see if it's in the budget." And I go, "Dude, I'll just wrestle for experience. I just want to get in the ring."
Yeah.
And then his response is like, "I can't do that." And then I go to Jesse and I'm like, "Dude, come on, man! I'm telling this guy I'll work for fucking free, and he's not fucking
he's
booking me,
insulted
man."
by it.
Yeah, and it's like not insulted, but it's just like, dude, like, and then he has to put it in perspective of just like, dude, he's looking out for you, man. You're going out there and you're like, you might get hit in the head with something, you might,
You're taking bumps,
blah blah blah. Like he wants to make sure that you're taken care of,
Yeah.
and I understand that, but it's at the same time, it's just like, I just want to
wrestle.
do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like a thumbs up to Seb is just, you know, there's tons of shitty promoters out there that's why shows suck, is because they're like, "Oh, you'll work for free? Cool,
Of
you're
course.
booked." And this guy who wants money is not, even
Yeah.
though he might be better. So it's Seb's just trying to do the right thing. And,
Which is great.
yeah.
And that wasn't me shitting on you, Seb. I promise. It was like, and it just was like, I just
You're
get
just
frustrated
stoked,
because
yeah.
I want reps.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. I'm trying to think of any cool stories from Europe that happened.
This is a total Mark question, but did Knock Loose, did they just release a shirt and it's the old Every Time I Die
Yes.
design? It's fucking, because
It
I
was
had that
awesome.
shirt and I was
It
like,
was
that's
amazing.
fucking sweet.
We showed up and we're like, oh. And they had it like just made, and it like they did a knockoff shirt
Of like an
our
old
shirt.
Eaton shirt. It's fucking, it's super
That's so
cool.
cool.
That's badass.
It's funny, man, because that band is just, they're so fucking excited, and
Yeah.
it makes me so. It's like talking to Puff and Danny. Like,
Yeah.
in my life, when I fucking have that, it makes things so much fucking easier. Like those European shows where like, fuck, it's work. And I mean, that Coco show, I was fucking nervous walking up the stage because I was like, this is the biggest show of my life.
Yeah.
And then I'm wrestling, or I'm playing like a week before in Belgium, going like, do I really have to go out there and do this right now?
Yeah,
Like,
compared to that high.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you see like Isaac, and he's just like, oh, dude, we played with fucking, and he was like the whole time like talking. They played like a festival before, the day before, like they started the tour, and they're like, man, you gotta hear Malevolence, dude. They're fucking awesome, dude. And he's like hyped on like some band that played, you know, and the band's amazing. Malevolence is awesome, but like he was so excited that he got to see Malevolence play a show. Where like with me, it's like I would go eat something and then be like, oh, Malevolence is playing at 6, so I'll make sure that I'm back at 5:55, see Malevolence, and then leave. Go eat something. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been doing it for so long.
Yes.
Watching bands, but he was so fucking excited about watching things.
Yeah, just stoked about the whole experience in general.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing for me with like traveling with all you guys. It's cool to be around people that are just excited about wrestling and traveling and stuff, as opposed to being in the car with like dudes that are just grizzled. And it's like, you know, dude, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be. What the fuck? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, same thing. It's fucking super cool. Didn't just like you said, like for you to seeing like Knocked Loose like progress and basically get over with the crowd.
Yeah.
And same thing. It's like watching Kevin Bennett get over after all that, you know, put the time and the work in and get over. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
like I said, when you guys had your match at Smash, like I was right there when you guys got done. I was like, fuck, this is fucking awesome. Like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? I've done that with Kevin a couple times at Smash, where it's just like, you know,
That's still my
his
favorite
heat,
match.
His heat is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's I love like when Kev, like when you'll do something cool at Smash where like you know, you'll still hit like a dive or something like that, and like the crowd will pop, but then a second later they switch around just so like you still suck and shit like that. It's fucking
I've heard
it's
that a
fucking
lot.
rad, man.
Yeah.
It's the best. The fucking best.
I don't have any. I honestly can't think of one. Thing that
Any more tour stories?
I did anything cool in that thing. It's all a fucking.
Well, if
like,
you said you literally played every day, so I
for
can't imagine there was
18
much time to
shows.
do anything
18 shows. in a
sweet
row.
besides eat and sleep
crazy.
and try to find time to work out.
Yeah. Like I said, I worked out at gyms every day wearing American
Barbell
Barbell shorts and then top and like
Yeah, like just tagged up head to toe.
yeah, and it's because I wasn't sleeping, so like I would wake up at like 2, have to go in sound check, and then like peak time for gym is like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Nah.
And you go and it's just a
Packed, fuck.
It's so hard to like get into it.
Yeah.
And then you're like literally in basically a pack of wolves because they work out there all the time.
Yeah.
And you're a dude trying to do deadlifts that
Oh, yeah.
pulls like I have to pull like 315 to 405 to get a pump
Yep.
at all. So like there's clanking, there's like and they're looking over.
There was
and
like
it's
that
just
asshole American guy.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just want to get the fuck moving and like.
Yeah,
you know.
please. I just want to get this in and get out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was trying to think if there was nothing cool happened on that entire other than like playing the shows, and the shows were fucking awesome, but I can't even think of like rad things that like at the shows, and they were just crazy, but like the usual like I don't know, like the usual things didn't happen.
Yeah, like, what do you mean the usual things?
Well, you know, like usually there's like some. The only thing I think of is like I played a show, and like some dude, I'm setting my stuff up, and some dude just keeps prodding me about looking at a picture on his phone. And then you like look, and you're like, okay, man, what is it? And then the guy can't figure out how his phone works.
Yeah.
So he's just like fumbling, like, oh, it's cool, it's this picture, and you're just like, great, dude. Like,
Anyways.
awesome.
Yeah. Was that? Sorry, not to
it's okay.
bump you. Kev, the weekend when we went to, well, yeah, fuck, your story was different. For Smash, we did Montreal, and then London after that.
That fucking trip.
Yeah. I didn't know, and I didn't learn until we left Friday. I didn't know the drive from Montreal to London, Ontario was like 7-8 hours.
Oh yeah, bud.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, the trek to Montreal is gonna suck, but we'll do that the night before so we can chill. But then it was like, oh fuck, I didn't know the drive the next day was so long too, and we hit snow twice. But I forgot you busted back. Did you know what Kevin's travel schedule was that day? Yeah.
He had
he was just like, I'm just going to boot right back home for another 8 hours.
Yeah, for my nephew's baptism.
Was that like the longest time you've put in on the road on a weekend? Had to be, right? I guess
Probably.
the WWE stuff.
Yeah, the WWE stuff was a little bit more hectic.
Yeah, and that was you by yourself, right?
Well, that was me and Anna. So yeah, she helped me out with some driving. But
okay.
I got to give props to Body for the whole Montreal thing because he
stayed awake,
hustled it all the way to Montreal.
Yeah.
And then he did like more than half
on the way back.
Yeah, but I think he just likes driving. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like if I'm in a car, I prefer to drive.
Yeah, I got a brand new Jeep Compass.
Yeah. And
I was like pumped. He goes, "Hey man, can I drive?"
I
drives my car.
I get sometimes it's weird. I'm fine if I'm driving, but I get car sick sometimes when I'm not.
Yeah.
So driving helps sometimes.
For sure.
I'm trying. Yeah, we got have you used Airbnb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first experience with it, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I've never I don't know, people try I haven't heard anything negative about it. Like, you try to explain to somebody, and they're like, oh, I don't know, that sounds kind of hard. But it was like, dude, we stayed at a house.
Yeah.
And it was like $20 a piece. We had, like, a fucking laundry. Like, we had a whole kitchen. Like, there was, I didn't know the woman actually, slept in the basement while we were there.
Yeah.
But I never even saw her, never even heard her, nothing. It was fucking awesome.
Sometimes it's weird.
It was crazy, though, because, I forget, what time did we roll in there?
We got late, 11:30 at night.
Yeah, but, we're up for a while, and, Kevin, he's loud just in general with his loud voice, and, there's so many of us up there, and, I forget, what time it was when we came back. I think it was,
It was late. It was, 2, 3 in the morning.
Something, yeah, and then, him and Daniel are just, chaining in the fucking kitchen and shit, and it's just, stomping, and she's, sleeping below us.
You're talking about the review she left?
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, this lady's going to hate us. Well, the review came back the next morning.
Picture perfect.
Yeah, she's like Tyler's group was amazing. They cleaned up after themselves. They were so quiet.
Yeah, they put over the quiet thing a whole
Dude,
bunch.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh my god, like we had to tell
Like we
people to be
weren't
quiet.
assholes, but like we were definitely not quiet for someone sleeping in the basement. And
Yeah.
she was more than happy.
Yeah, I was surprised because I heard her like walking around down there and
really?
everything.
I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured, maybe she was like either irritated by the noise or like she just couldn't sleep because she
Maybe
just
she's a
heard
night owl.
stomping and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, she said she was going to bed. She's like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, like as soon as we got there, I'm going to bed. Good night or whatever. And then that
Where
like
was
golden review. What is it? Saint Eustache. I was calling it Saint Mustache,
Yeah.
but Saint
And then
Eustache.
we spent like 2 days with Frankie the Mobster. It was the best.
Amazing.
It was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Worked out at the gym with him.
That,
fucking
like,
went to breakfast with him.
Putting
So awesome.
5 plates on the fucking-
For shrugs.
For shrugs.
In his own customized way.
I don't
like,
think
yeah.
like the one here
Yeah.
because he loaded each side up and then he found another way to put like 2 more plates like kind of
thing, yeah.
Oh, was that on there? Okay, yeah.
There used to be a dude that used to do cable crossovers at the fitness factory on
It was super
Main
heavyweight,
Street.
yeah.
He would rack it and then he would put 245s on the pins.
On the pin for cable
Yeah,
crossovers.
for cable crossovers. Dude, I'm using like 60
Exactly.
and doing them for like reps.
That's
This motherfucker's doing reps with
Cable
a rack and 45.
for cable crossovers, the
Yeah.
smallest exercise.
Yeah. He was huge though.
Yeah, I mean, probably kind of knew what he was
He
doing.
was
I
gas
guess.
man.
It was funny working out with him for sure.
Yeah.
I
That was
didn't know
awesome.
what smelling salts were until he.
What was he using them for?
For
what
Well,
workouts?
you were there at Smash when he was like ribbing everybody with the smelling
Yeah.
salts, right? Yeah, and then he just hits the smelling salts before a big set.
I never
Of
knew what
what,
they
though?
were.
Like
Like, I can
shrugs,
understand, shrugs I
we
don't
did
understand
we did
that.
some behind the neck press
Yeah.
before a big set of that. He hit the smelling salts, but the bad part was like,
They're supposed to be really bad for you.
yeah, I tried. I don't know. I used them before wrestling matches before, and then like I
No,
just
no. I'm talking about behind the neck.
But I've always, like behind the neck press and behind the neck like pull downs. I look at it like if you do them once in a while, it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not supposed to do them all the time.
Yeah.
But he would like hit the smelling salts like it was just like a little bottle. But he would like stick his and he would when he pulled it out, there was like white stuff all over his nose.
Yeah,
it's like
he inhaled
Frankie,
that
that's
shit.
not a good look, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, it was ridiculous.
and there was like some like older woman who just spoke French, and she was just like staring at him the whole time.
Yeah.
But like in a good way.
Laughing,
Yeah,
though.
she
Everybody
thought, she
would
thought.
stare at him.
Well, he hugged every person there, and they all knew who he was.
That's
And
great.
yeah,
Yeah, he knew
he's
everybody.
the dude, man.
It's fucking Frankie the Monster.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And he loves talking about like criminals that he knows, and he refers to people as a dangerous man all the time. He always goes like, he's a dangerous man. He's a
Yeah.
dangerous man. He says that a lot.
He's so cool. He literally is a cooler.
And then
He should be a fucking household name.
And then his vape exploded all over my pants. I saw you that picture.
I saw that.
He's
It's
just
pretty
loading up his vape thing, and
What
it just,
flavor?
I don't know, but I smelled like it the whole rest of the day. It was actually these pants. I'm surprised it came out. I didn't know when you load vape, he was like squeezing in there, and it's like a gel.
Yeah.
And it just, I also just went like, and it just all over his hand and all over my pants. Looked
Did
like I
you
jizzed all over
touch a
myself.
snake? The python?
No, you didn't like lick your eyeball or something.
Yes. Are you afraid of snakes?
Nah, like I mean, like he didn't throw it on me, but I mean,
He
I'm
put
not a
it on
snake
my
guy.
head. Dude, he put it on my head.
oh, he
not a
didn't.
snake
He wasn't even asking. He was just, here's a snake on your
Yeah,
head. That's
he
about
literally
it.
put it on my head, and like I've had nightmares about snakes. I hope he doesn't hear this, but yeah, no, I've had nightmares about snakes like in my bathtub, like just chilling
Yeah.
when I'm about to take a shower and shit. But it's like a smaller snake. It's
Dude,
not anything
there's
crazy.
There's like a, I'm not gonna say famous, but there's like an older promo that we took with snakes. Like we have a buddy who's like a snake handler. Jeff the Muse.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Muse is great.
Muse. He was whatchamacallit's animal guy.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon's like animal
Yeah,
guy.
Buffalo brother.
Yeah, and he so we did this like photo shoot with like snakes, and like the whole day I had to like gear myself up for it. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to touch a snake, man. It's not a lizard guy. Scales, just not my thing.
Yeah.
So he walks in, and we're sitting on this like couch, and he just threw the largest rattlesnake I've ever seen in my life just at us. And it just went, and it slid a second, and then just was right up. Just looking at us going, and you could hear the
which means they're getting ready to fucking...
It was the biggest, he had the largest rattlesnake in captivity. It was 12 feet. The thing was fucking huge. It was like the size of... Oh, yeah. It was the size...
Threw it at you?
Yeah, it was the size of like a Subway sub. Thick. That's how thick it was. Like, it was... The thing is gnarly. And the rattle...
That sounds terrifying.
Like, I've never heard it. Like, only heard it on TV or whatever. But, like, in person, you hear that. And it's just like, it goes right through you.
Yeah, like you're dead.
And then he puts it away. He's like, ugh, and he's fucking around with it. So, like, he's, like, grabbing its tail and it's fucking striking at him. And he's like, ugh. And he's like, man, he's all pissed off. He hates people. And he
I bet he
put
does.
it away. So he puts it away back in the thing. And then he starts pulling these snakes out. He's got one of those big yellow things.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. You know what I mean? Like, size of my arm, thickness.
Yeah.
Just... And it's going all over us. Like, there's fucking... It's a boa constrictor or something. And then all these tiny snakes are all over us. And this one little snake, like little orange snake, loved me. And I was wearing, like, an old sailor hat in it. Like, the old, like, bucket sailor hat or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it would just... I mean, if it was over on the last person and I was the last person on the right, and he put it on the last... It would climb over all of our shoulders and come straight to me, go up my ear, and then you'd hear it going... like on my ear, and then up, and it would chill on my head. So there's like pictures of it just like cruising my head. So then we're done with the thing, and he goes, dude, that snake is like highly aggressive, highly poisonous.
Highly poisonous.
And he was like, it loved you. Like
totally good you found that out after.
And I was freaking the fuck out after. I was like, dude, like,
please don't do that.
I never want that ever again. And then, like, he ends up bringing fucking... we did like a music video, and he brought like a Komodo dragon to it.
Oh.
He brought an alligator.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Insane. A sloth. A sloth.
Yeah.
That
That sounds pretty awesome.
at it. We were trying to get an actual real reindeer for the Christmas show.
That's crazy.
Be pretty dope.
Yeah. We also talked about getting Foley as to just be Santa.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. I just don't know anyone that would know how to get a hold of Foley other than Dan Barry, maybe.
Yeah, he did a
It'd
show.
probably be a lot of money.
It's not going to be cheap by any means.
Yeah, but it'd be so fucking cool.
I mean, it'd be fucking really cool.
Yeah.
Or just dress Puff or body up like...
No, we're just getting a straight up real mall Santa scene.
Sweet.
For it. It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a fucking Puff story I was going to tell earlier for no reason, and I forgot it.
Oh, going back to that. So Clint Margera, I told you about this.
Yeah, Trent Seven's brother.
Yeah, so Clint Margera is a wrestler that wrestles for Fight Pro.
Fight Club Pro.
And then you probably see, he always wrestles, him and Jimmy Havoc tag sometimes, whatever. I've known Clint for a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he was Trent Seven's brother.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
So we were like sitting there fucking talking, and I was telling him about how we were like talking about Trent Seven's bod.
Yeah.
We were like texting back and forth.
Yeah,
like,
that's my brother.
I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I was like, Jesse's more of like a body guy. And I'm more of like, just, I think body shapes are awesome. So
Yeah.
I like the way Trent Seven looks because blah, blah. And I'm like saying, like, he wears basic trunks and does this thing, blah, blah, blah. Like his whole, the strong style thing.
That's great
and
hair.
then I was like,
Great set of hair.
so I wrote to Jesse and I was like, yo, he's kind of the Ray Winstone of wrestling.
Yeah.
And then, dude, Clint's like eyes like lit up. He goes, it's my older brother, right? And I was like, I had no idea. He's like, yeah, it's my older brother. He's gonna love that when I tell him that you think he's like the Ray Winstone thing. So mine and your conversations, getting the Trent Seven,
It's straight to him
about how we think he's the Ray Winstone of wrestling.
of
if
the
you know who Ray Winstone
of the
is,
Departed fame. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Winstone's just like a grizzled old British actor.
He's the perfect old grizzled British actor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
No.
Kev.
You're sweating as usual.
Yeah.
It is hot in here, man.
It's a little toasty in here.
Say it.
What?
Do you we want to do your social medias there, Kev?
Yeah, do your
Of course.
socials.
Do we hit the socials?
Oh, wait a second. I had another This isn't me running in.
That's a run-in.
No, it's not.
100%.
Because I was going to do this anyways. I like that Stone Cold always does a fucking match of the week.
Yeah.
I think we should start doing it. I just watched Carl Anderson versus Yuji Nagata.
Uh-huh.
And the match fucking rocks.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it before.
It's on Daily Motion. So you should, watch that match. It fucking rocks.
Uh-huh.
Carl Anderson versus Yuji Nagata. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Look it up. It fucking rocks. That's it.
Match of the week, yeah.
It's fucking great.
Does he usually do a match of the week? Or I remember him talking about, certain spots.
No, I mean, he does. Sometimes he'll just do a match like, hey, guys, here's your homework. Watch this match.
Oh, yeah, you're
Sometimes.
right. It is really cool when he does that, though.
The finish is fucking great. Like, Yuji
And
Nagata...
he'll usually point out stuff he likes and shit, too.
Yuji Nagata goes for an Uranagi, and when he gets Carl Anderson up, Carl Anderson does the gun stun out of it, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Very cool shit.
Great match, though. Carl Anderson versus Yuji Nagata.
Hell yeah.
All right, give your socials.
All right. My socials. Twitter, The Kevin Bennett. Instagram, The Kevin Bennett. Facebook, just type in Kevin Bennett. Maybe The Kevin Bennett. I'll probably come up my personal page. And I have my music page on Facebook, Kevin Bennett Music. I'm also on YouTube, SoundCloud. You can find me even if you just type in Kevin Bennett Wrestler, Kevin Bennett Music. I should come up. I mean, there's a lot of Kevin Bennetts in the world, but I mean, if you actually type in just Kevin Bennett on Google, it comes up Kevin Bennett Wrestler, Kevin Bennett Rapper, and then Kevin Bennett Hobo.
Is it cool?
I'm not the hobo, though.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
oh,
no.
but for Hobo, if you guys do have, I think it's Hulu, Hobo with the Shotgun's on Hulu.
Yeah,
Go watch it.
Great movie.
We didn't talk movies at all, but go watch Hobo
You're
with the
crushing
Shotgun.
my smokes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Just type my name in and follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Kevin, give it to us.
Come on,
hit you with the line?
Yeah, you work here. You know the finisher.
All right, well, heat's in the ring, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.